Hey everyone, I got the kids, so I'm off camera, but I'm here.
Peace, Queen. Is that okay? What? All right, boom. All right, we live on YouTube. Okay, I take that
Peace,
off.
everyone.
Peace and blessings. Remove that. Um, we're just giving everyone some time to get on here. 2 minutes. Grand Rising, everyone. How's everybody feeling?
Happy Friday, family. I'm feeling pretty good. How about y'all?
Love
Feeling
it.
amazing.
Amazing. Incredible. Phenomenal. Um, well, I hope everybody else is feeling amazing, incredible, phenomenal. Let me check on YouTube. Pull it up real quick. Okay, they're just coming in. All right. One more minute. Someone just came in. Levine, yes, indeed. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, two more people just came on YouTube and start at 37. All right, we'll start now. Well, the ones that didn't say nothing, I pray that you feel amazing as well. Um, Today is a beautiful day on the East Coast. The sun, the weather, everything is just perfect. Rams, Peace King, Charlotte, Peace Queen, Talisha, Peace Queen, Levine, Peace Queen, AV, Peace King, Lily, Peace Queen, iPad, Peace and Blessings. I want to say that's Gina, but then again, I don't want to say is that her. But Rich, Peace King, Ash, Peace Queen, Sean, Peace King, and Dave's. I see you on YouTube, Peace King. What up, bro? All right, so we'll get straight into it. Um, we got for the first things the market overview, macro and market conditions, key levels, catalysts, and all that good stuff. Let's see what's going on. Did I? So we had the expected move for this week was about 131 points. Don't. Uh, I don't. I'm not too sure. Um, if we did that or not. I don't remember where we started off at. I haven't been really watching the charts this week because, again, the range is from 740 to 756. We under 740, I believe it was 738 ish around there. We got to pop right back into the range. Where's SPY at now? Um, is it above 740?
Yeah, it is.
Because I have no idea. That looks good on ES. Spot. Yeah, so we're back in. I mean, I told you the overall the big range why I still don't force a day trade is because you see we dropped under 740, but you see we did absolutely nothing. The range goes all the way down to 728 and all the way up to 756. That's the big overall range. If you zoom out on your daily or your weekly, you'll be able to see why I'm saying those areas. It's just a big liquidity. Look at this. From my bottom AV WAP, even 722 is crazy. But really, we're seeing a lot of action when we come down to this 732 ish, even 725 area. But I'm seeing a more majority of the candles is about 730 to 756. So that's the range that I will not trade until we break out of it. Once we are in the range for a few weeks, that's the market telling me to just sit, to just pay attention, watch liquidity get built. But I rarely do I ever day trade these, and this is a every year thing for me, where when we get these tight ranges like this, there's money to be made, but for me, the risk isn't worth it. Um, so, but our immediate range is 740 to 750, and that area just, if you're trying to swing trade, you're getting clapped right now. But if you're scalping, it's kind of, it's some days it's like heaven, and then other days is it's not so much, right? The market is very boring right now. Um, it's applying pressure on everyone. So as far as macro, we'll look at what we got here. We didn't have much data that came out that's worth me really going into. Uh, so we're not going to really get into that. We did have Intel went crazy. Rams, as usual, per usual, drops all of our earnings information in the earnings and economic section in the Discord. And yeah, they beat EPS by 100%. And then next thing I know, I seen Jim Cramer at 501, but right before, or 505, believe, like when their call was already active. He said Intel's the one, and literally from the time Kramer said that to nighttime, Intel, all is getting, it went from 14% down to 1%. And then Sonny said the reason was they mentioned Capex, but of course we know Kramer, whatever he says, you do the opposite of. All right, so that's really it as far as data that I have. I'm going to just show you now how oil's back. And we knew oil would come back, energy, those stocks would come back. If you look at SLB, SLB is at $51, and it was just at $47 yesterday. So oil is back above. It hit 100 for the first time since May. Um, Yields is surging. So we're gonna look. We're gonna check all that out. So we'll start off with WTI. Let's see what the U.S. is pricing oil barrels at. So oil looks really healthy. No pullbacks yet. It looks like we're getting a pullback now down to 82. Currently at 88. Oil looks strong. So oil could slightly pull back, but this is pressure on the markets again. You might even get a, if you start, you can even come down here and start consolidating. You know, if it starts happening there, but if it happens, consolidation happens above 88, my white line, you know, we're building some real liquidity here. That is a cup and handle. If it does that, my target for WTI is I think it's 122. Let me check the monthly. 122 is the target. We said when oil dropped, it wasn't dead. It was resetting. It was just it was doing a nice pullback, but it's coming back to life and it's putting pressure on the markets. And if you look over here at this structure, how we just ran up and we hit 122, look at this structure over here. This is beautiful. We went up. We didn't hit 122. We hit 110 and we pulled all the way back to 70, right? And immediately buyers stepped in at the 100-day moving average. I always say that's where you buy the strength in the dip on the monthly. And look at that. That is a huge candle. So it looks like we'll see. You heard it here first. About 145 we'll see for just WTI. And then we'll look at Brent. Okay, Brent. Let's see. Let's go down to the daily. Same thing. Looks the same. You got a nice support here that I'm seeing about here. Drag that over. You can see we bounced directly off that line. If this isn't some sniper stuff here, then what is? Focus, execute, repeat. I love this shirt. So we'll probably build a right handle over here above $90 on Brent. We can even come down to 88. And if we do that, we get back above $93. I'm looking for Brent to hit. Let's pull out our Fibonacci. Again, this is pressure on the market. Then I'll look at the bottom, looking for the most touches, bodies of the candles. That looks good. I'll go with this. Let me see, right here. Right here. No, I'll go with this. That's why I like my fib right there. Took these and you can see multiple candles right there. So let's see what the target is for Brent. All right, 142. Yes. I believe we see oil at 142. Let's go to the metals real quick. Again, oil going up is not good for the market. Then we'll check metals. We said metals is back. I think yesterday or today had a big gap down. Look at that candle right there. That is that what is that called? Shooting star. That's a Doji bearish. I can't think of the name right now.
That's the
bearish.
Gravestone Doji.
But okay, Gravestone Doji. Thank you.
Sure.
We gapped straight down into my immediate moving averages. We didn't lose it. They caught the candle. The 10 is holding it as support, and now we're flirting with the 20 and the 5-day. Looks like we're gonna go right back up on gold. Got a nice pullback into structure though, but sellers they're not quite finishing the job. They need to step in and continue. This is the second day that we're holding our $370.50 level. So and we're in the golden zone still. Well, we're slightly out the golden zone by a few cents. I would say about 30 cents away from the golden zone. I still like metals, but overall when August starts, it's going to be annoying. Yeah, we're entering the golden zone. It's going to be annoying in September, August. I'm not looking for any safe havens. Everything's gonna get smoked. Metals, Bitcoin, equities, everything that you can name. I don't think anything is safe. Um, that's silver, gold. I look at those two. I don't go into. I look at copper and stuff too, but when I'm on live, I don't go into all of them. Let's just look at VIX, and I'm gonna check something else, and then I'll pass it um to whoever want to take it or however.
Yeah, I'll grab it.
Okay. So this is VIX. We're bouncing off the $17.38 level. Drag my white line over. VIX is going to explode again, but it's going to come right back down. The 100-day moving average has been keeping it contained. But every time we come down, we touch the 10, we get a little pop to that about $22 area to 20 to $22 area. Right now it's consolidating. You got a cup and handle right here. Right handle is forming, but it's patterns on the VIX. I don't do patterns on the VIX. It's not like a real stock that you're not charting volatility really. I'm just trying to see where we could potentially bounce and potentially reject. That is it. So VIX, it's they're holding the spring down right now. It's compressed. As soon as they let go, the move is going to be big, but for now it's going to be controlled. I don't see nothing too big. I see $24 on VIX and then right back down to 18. As far as downside, we could go down on VIX. I do see $16.40 on VIX. So overall, it's still choppy. Let's look at our bond yields. Oh, we're gonna look at this. We're about 3% from the lowest TLT ever been in history. TLT represents interest rates. When it's going down, interest rates are going up. When it's going up, interest rates are going down. It's at its lowest. That is, it's about 3% from its lowest that has ever been. See right here, boom, in history. What does that tell you? Interest rates are not. They're here to stay. That narrative that I've been saying, the higher for longer. Feds ain't coming to save us, and this economy is just getting worse and worse. They're not going to come to save us. So look for pressure. Look for you to start to feel that pressure at home. Not even in the markets, in the grocery stores, and at the gas pump, and all of that. Electricity bill. It's crazy out here. We get like a good week or 2 weeks off, and then next thing you know, gas is right back at all-time highs again. Sucks. Now we go 10-year. Where you at? Come on. 10-year. Wow. You're flagging here on a yearly. What the F? You're flagging on a yearly. That is that's some heavy stuff right there. I can't. You always gotta move your screen. Now I can't see to the left, but ain't nothing over there, so I can move this out. I'll take these two candles, but then if I take this one, I take this area. It's perfect. 100. Well, 6.20. Oh my god. When's the last time we was up there? 19. In the 90s, we was there. 93 to 2000. Then before that, 69 to 76. So from the 70s to the 2000. Yeah, this is bad. This the yearly flagging like that. Let's go down to the daily. Yeah, they're holding, break and retest. Boom, boom. This looks strong. It's not good. Look for 4.80 down. Not good. Wow. The 10-year. Wow. I mean the 2-year. Wow. We're flagging. Man, it looks like we're about to get the high. We're about to get a record for the 2-year. We're gonna get a record. Consolidating. Yo, that's some scary stuff. That's not good. All right, I'm just gonna go. Well, I just did everything as far as that. I already said I don't gotta go into ES. It's the same as SPY. We're just grinding up to the upside. Well, ranging. My bad. Overall, we're grinding to the upside, but right now we're still in this nasty, funky range. Not interested in anything in the market at all. I just been relaxing, chilling. That's what I got. Let's give it to Ram. See what he got.
I bet. Let me share,
I got you.
guys. So happy Friday, and we're gonna start it off with. We're gonna check what to watch for next week, and we're gonna also check certain things that are concerning. And to piggyback off what Ab was saying, gotta be very careful in this market right now. One thing first, let me go into Discord. I'm gonna dig for it first so I could get into this first. Where's that economic right here? All right, so this is concerning. Where is it? Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Right here. This is very,
Wait,
very
am
concerning.
I the only one that can't? Oh, never mind. My bad. I'm still screenshot. I couldn't see your screen, but I know why. My fault.
Where's the fuel cost? Right here. Bang. All right. We got to pay attention to this. Next week, we have FOMC. So you have to pay attention to this because next week, in my opinion, and what I'm expecting is for Walsh to keep rates unchanged but sound hawkish because inflation is starting to rise now. Oh, hold on. Now, fuel costs being up 77% that's major, right? So now let me go to right here. So for next week, right? Because we got FOMC next week. Matter of fact, let's look at the calendar before I come here. Calendar should be right here. All right. So next week, it's not a light week because we got a main event. We don't have a lot going on. So Monday, we got a free period, right? On Tuesday, this is gonna be semi-important. And it's semi-important because this is the consumer confidence. So you're gonna get the direct read on the consumer, how they're holding up. And we had a strong labor numbers yesterday. It's like I saw in one of the reports, it was like at a 50-year low. That's tight. Like people are working. Everybody got money right now. So why would this guy even think about cutting rates on Wednesday? And if the consumer is strong, then we have to hold rates steady, right? That's the way it works. Because now you have to supply that demand. Like, okay, well, we're gonna keep everything expensive, so people keep spending that money, right? So we gotta be very careful. We're gonna be watching how this comes out to see how the consumer is doing. And now with fuel costs rising on American Airlines like this, we can expect a hit like this for all the broader airline companies. This is major. This is major. Geopolitical tensions are rising. So now we expect this guy to sound hawkish and keep rates unchanged. But now going into August, going into August and September, we have to be careful because okay, this is for next week. Unchanged, 35%. So we're pretty much basically still going to watch the data. I doubt we're going to hike the rates. Now, we've been getting ready for this for months back. We already saw this coming. Now, September, we have our next meeting. Look at this. Very interesting. Very interesting. So this is going to be the new story that's going to take over. And it's going to get even more heated as the tensions with Iran escalate because now it's just too much back and forth. So what do you do? Does this guy tackle it again? I don't know, man. Like, yeah, it's funny and everything, but at some point, bro, just get it over with. Do what you got to do. Let the market do what it got to do. Let's find a floor and let's go. Now, that being said, this is something very, very interesting. Let's go to the charts. And I'm going to talk about Trump's term. We're just talking about from. Where should I go? Oh, damn it. Now, let me see. All right, I'm going to go on QQQ because it's cleaner. Because my SPY chart, and I know how you guys get with my charts. So, let's go on QQQ for a second. And remember, QQQ and SPY, ES, and Q, they move relatively the same, right? So you're going to get the same patterns. Hold on. Let me go on regular hours. Yo, shout out Trading You for that overnight price action. I love it. All right, and let me go on the weekly so we can see the macro, the broader view, okay? Because this is what matters. Okay, where's 2025? All right, so look, let me put it where I can draw. Just follow me here. Everybody just follow me here. This is very, very important. So every time, look, so when he got in office, right here, right? 2025, so it was like late 25, we got the rip. Cool. Now, forget about that part. This is the context. Since Trump has been around, look at the trend. Follow the trend. Look at this. We catch a massive rip. We base out. We catch a massive sell-off that leads into a massive rip. We base out. What happened? 2 times? Okay, cool. But now we rally. Where are we? Where are we? I'm not saying this has to just go now and do if right. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. So it doesn't have to now and go. Definitely doesn't have to do that. But we can get all that liquidity around the all-time highs, right? Take that whole supply out and start the distribution phase. And then bottom out and come looking for the new highs eventually. Now, the story is setting up for this. It doesn't have to do this crash and burn out now. We have the 20 here. We have the 50 here, which would be our floor on the weekly macro context. Now, this is something to watch because we are there. We are in the base, in the next base, right? So this base I drew it wrong because we got the drop on after every single base we got the drop. So you got the base, you still got the drop right here. Doesn't matter how you look at it. You get the base, you got the tariff low drop. You got a base to the 20, to this structure right here. Doesn't have to happen now, but going long just to go long, this is a picker's market. This is a trader's market. Like, be very vigilant with the trades, how long you're staying in them. The market is very, very fidgety. And yeah, they're not going to give it to you so obvious. So of course, expect chop back into this range, somewhere around an all-time highs, collect, and before you know it, this is how it snaps. This is how it snaps. I'm showing you QQQ. This is the same story for SPY. Same story. Just be vigilant here. Everything is very selective. Don't take long leaps right now unless you are at key macro level demands. Very key. Very key. This takes very much patience here. We already ran. The move happened. Nothing here has been mitigated. Nothing there. When we ran here and the move happened, before I get out of control. When we ran here and the move happened, we mitigated all of this. When we ran here and the move happened, we mitigated all of this. So what, is this just different now? It's different now? It's not different. It's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But this is what the market does. The market is a master trickster. They play with your psychology. Well, the market refuses. It fails to go down. It fails to go down. Is all-time high again? Boom. Grab liquidity, distribution activated. This is how it happens. So key context here. Very careful of what history has already taught us. You fool me once. Cool. I wasn't part of that. Cool. Shame on me. Fool me twice. You're gonna fool me 3 times? I'm gonna let you do this thing to me 3 times back to back? Nah, I gotta be careful. Even if you think we're breaking highs, eventually it's going to happen. Don't need to come to 664, but it will test this structure. Eventually. Be very selective here. Very selective. This is a routine. This is a pattern. Once you got 2 touches, it's just like a trend line. I need 1, 2 to make a trend line. 3, we got action, right? What does that look like? The drop eventually has to mitigate around this structure. I don't care when it happens. I just know it's going to happen at one point or another. This can go this, eventually. Eventually. So that's context. That's big context, and that's a trend. And we're waiting for this phase. We already got it. We already got it. So, and not to mention next week. So next week, the tone just, it totally shifts because we have Meta. We have a couple big dogs. Meta's on Wednesday. And then Walsh talks Wednesday. How hawkish is it going to sound? We saw Intel had good earnings. They didn't save the market. Everything's not just running. So we have to be careful at the point in time where we are at this point in time in the charts. It looks good every time the market rips. I am on the weekly, guys. Look at, how much more context do you want? Every time we rip. Oh, damn it, wrong shape. Every time we've ripped, where have we gone? Where have we gone? Tell me. We ripped, failed. Where are we going? It hasn't gone anywhere. Oh, the market is up. Well, you know one thing I do know, the market is at all-time high. You know, one thing I do know, this is blue sky territory. I can't call it from here. Can we have something? Can we have a move? Sure. But this is the path of least resistance. This is unknown. Concepts for you. All right. Let's move on. What we got next, Ab? I can't hear you. You're on mute. Am I on mute? No way. Ain't no way.
No, I can hear you, Ram.
You talking,
Oh.
Rams?
Oh. Okay. So yeah, that is very key, guys. Like, and to not mention, Wash is new, so we're testing this guy. Now expect to hear, well, the task force and all right, how hawkish do you sound? Because he said that he was gonna do things apart from just being boys with Trump. Let's see how hawkish does it sound. I don't expect dovish tone. I do expect for him to keep the market afloat. He's gonna keep us guessing. It's our job to read the data. So we're going to have to see what his tone sounds like, and we're going to have to see. I saw a report in the Sniper News where this guy tweeted something about, oh, I'm about to hit them the hardest. And they've been bombing, I don't know how many days already straight. So I don't know. Let's see where this leads. Oil's just teeter-tottering. It's going. It's ready to go. It just wants to go. And boots on the ground, any little mention of this, over with. What was the 10-year, Ab, when you looked at it? I was looking down and I missed a...
I can't even tell you off the top of my head. I could look for you real quick. 10-year is at 4.68.
Oh, okay. So, okay. 4.7 had the market a little spooked. I tell you, if that thing even gives a whiff of getting anywhere near 5, market's in trouble. The market as a whole. So be very, very tedious in what you try to jump in. And now when you try to jump in, make sure the intent of the play played out all the way through right now until we start getting clarity, until at least this geopolitical, what's going on with the portal, the Strait of Hormuz. Once that stuff starts to clear out, let's go. But we said it months ago, this war was gonna last. Where are we on now? We're going into August soon. All year we've been dealing with this.
Amazing. I got
Facts. You called it. You called it since like December.
Yeah, I think this war lasts to I think it lasts 5 years, and I think Trump is going to do another term, and I know many people don't agree, but yeah, it's
And you
crazy.
know what? To just because this came to my mind, and write this down, guys. Remember what we said about this pattern? When you're getting into plays, leaps, right? Or you're gonna hold on certain things, just remember first, like, respect the risk. Okay? Respect the risk before you count the reward. There's not much to count. You don't know what to count here. You don't know what's gonna happen on that. That's unknown. So respect this before you respect just the go. Respect the risk before you start counting the reward.
Mhm.
That's a rule that with this market, ingrain that in your head. What is the risk first? Then, okay, my entry's here. But what am I risking? Because what I'm risking is factual. I have it. The reward is just a hope. It's the reward for my risk. Y'all can't see me, can you?
No, we can see you.
Oh, you can see me. All right.
Yeah.
So is the reward for my risk. So the risk is already it's what's that word? Tangible, right? It's physical. It's the money. It's the money I'm putting up. So what are the risks? What am I facing? What am I going up against? So I know how much so I can leverage, how long I can stay. what kind of market am I trading in? All right, let's move on.
KT, Peace King. Lakia, Peace Queen. Glenda, Peace Queen. 1111, Peace King.
Mhm.
I like that.
Hey, that's my dog right there. I just put him on to the snipers last night, 11-11. That's my dog.
Oh, word. Peace King.
Yeah.
KT, man, you always be bringing new
Word.
people. Appreciate
KT
you.
about to get a recruiter badge.
Yeah, we was talking about
Hey,
you.
y'all already know I gotta bring new family members.
Word. That's love.
Word.
Talisha, you got anything for us on the macro part, or you want to go into? I'm going to do a prayer and then let you take over if you got something.
Take over. I don't want to take over.
Kind of want you to.
No, I don't have anything. You guys killed it. I completely agree.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. He wants to say hi. Say hi.
She said she off duty today.
He's not on camera, but just there you go. Okay.
Mhm.
I fully agree. I think that from an ICT perspective, okay, that's enough, baby. From an ICT perspective, I agree with Ram's thesis on like we have to clean up some of those inefficiencies. We have to eventually come down and just clean up all the imbalances. One of the things that is like one of the foundations in learning ICT is like price moves to get liquidity or balance imbalances. And so whenever we have price runs like that, we're going to come back down and try to balance out some of that inefficient price delivery. And so I'm just waiting. I'm day trading my way down to 697 is what I see eventually. And looking forward to getting there because it will be a glorious drop because there's just no liquidity to hold us up. So I'm looking forward to that. Alex asked, how do you check imbalances? Imbalances are things like gaps, fair value gaps. It's wherever price action isn't balanced. So when you have a full gap in the market, it's the absence of buyers and sellers. They were left and their orders didn't get filled. When you have a fair value gap, it's the absence of buyers or sellers. Their orders didn't get filled. And so whenever you have a fair value gap, a gap, those are like the most apparent imbalances. Equal highs aren't so much imbalances, but in areas of liquidity where you can expect price to go back and retest that. We've been seeing that a lot lately, where we'll see like even on the 5-minute chart, equal highs and price will go back right back up and grab it. Even today it happened on the 5-minute chart. There's a candle with no wick, and Candy and I were talking about this, and price just went straight to it. So we saw price going to head up before it even happened because we're looking at where is there obvious pockets of liquidity and obvious imbalances in the market where price didn't deliver efficiently. And whenever you see like a straight, like MU is a great example. Whenever you see a straight run of price, that's inefficient delivery. It's just straight bullish action. There's no bearish support to build the structure.
Makes sense.
That's all I got. I'm with you. I agree. I see the same.
All right. So I'm gonna start
That was
with
fire.
I'm gonna start with a
Appreciate
prayer. Rams, are you showing us something?
I was on mute the whole time. That's crazy.
Yeah, you
Just
think
give me like 1 second.
you meant to
I
tell.
was just showing him the
Real quick,
imbalances.
I just have a question, not to cut
Mhm.
you off, but was you going to cut Talisha off because she was talking?
No, I wasn't. I actually just went in as soon as she finished. I was like, boom, look, these are the imbalances. So look, real
Rams
quick.
would never. Now
Yeah,
you
for real.
have, I
Yeah.
wouldn't run that past you. Rams
That's a
would
fact.
never.
That's a fact.
So look, an imbalance is when the auction between buyers and sellers, right? So if there's 3 times, so 2 million, right, to 394K, that is 3 times over. There was an imbalance in that auction from here to here. They go like this, not like this.
Diagonal.
They go, yes, diagonal. So now 3 million is bigger 3 times than 674. That was an imbalance in the auction. So now, therefore, this whole FVG, right? This is a fair value gap. Is in ICT terms, this would be your FVG, but this is created by imbalances in the auction. So eventually price needs to come down and mitigate some of this, and then it can go. However it wants to mitigate. There's bullish FVGs, bullish imbalances. It doesn't, whatever it wants to use the energy for here, and then go, or go. Most likely it'll come, retest, and try to bounce. Grab all this liquidity, grab everything. Okay, so those are the imbalances, and that's where they derive from. Their volume footprints inside of the candle. Every candle inside of it, there is an auction. Oh wow, because I'm using this. Duh.
And I
In
love
every
this
candle.
Rams because it translates directly to a fair value gap. So it's
Exactly.
like another example of how we get to the same destination. So Rams uses volume. I use fair value gaps to see what he sees, just different in a way that I understand it better. But where these imbalances are, it creates that fair value gap.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now you see these zeros here. Buyers are overwhelming the sellers. The zero here, particularly on this end, right here, means there were no more sellers left. So price, what did it do? 2. Now it starts mitigating again. So we got a live candle, it starts mitigating, starts collecting what it needs to collect, and price keeps going. But as far as this move here, you see that you were going to break this zone because there were no more sellers left. They got exhausted here. There was so much pressure from here. They just overtook them here. Price ran. Okay.
Alex asks, do you know how to relate this to single prints?
So single prints, that's where you see, because TradingView doesn't give you the volume imbalances. Like TradingView, they charge you to be able to see this. This is like one of the top subscriptions. I'm not sure which one, but I think top 2. So what I like to do is this. So I created this, Alex. I don't know if you already know, but my Trapper script, my Trapper volume trigger and SMAs, this is going to give you those multipliers. So you'll know what candles were very strong if there was a big spike. So now the only way you would know, right, is like Talisha said, look for the fair value gaps. You'll know there's imbalances in there. Look at the volume if you don't have the volume footprint, right? So you'll look at the volume and start and begin your context. Okay, so I got a widespread candle, high volume bar. This right here, it was absorption right off a low. It took it all. Average volume, it just goes. It didn't come to mitigate. It mitigated this area right here. And now we're chopping. So now look where we're going. Look where we're going. Is it possible to reject this 20-day? Reject. Boom. Look where the 50 is sitting. Look where that 50 is sitting. So now it's all about context once you don't have that extra tool. Now you got to start just, all right, I'll break it down. Because this could easily, look, now I'm already under my 9. On the weekly basis, I'm under my 9. Can we bounce, right? Try to attempt to reclaim. If we don't, break that low, boom. Catch that whole imbalance right here. Now we have the 50. So now we have confluence. We have the level, we have the imbalance, and we have my 50. What is my volume relative telling me? Am I getting exhaustion on the way down, right, to mitigate? And I'm getting a big push from the buyers with a nice wick collecting everything. Now I know those are stacking confluences, which we're going to get to in a bit. All right. Does that answer your question, or did I just go off topic?
Alex? Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Right.
All right, so before we start our prayer, I do want to say that Trump just got out the meeting with the top advisors and senior members of his cabinet to decide whether to intensify the military assault against Iran, um, according to 4 different people. So I want to say everybody just keep their head on the swivel to news. Something like Trump saying that he's going to blast them, or something really bullish or bearish. If y'all see it, just let us know. Cut us off, because I'm gonna take a trade. I'm gonna swing a trade. Trump. I wanted Trump. I know Friday, Saturday, Sunday is bearish, and we've been like really bearish lately, to the point where it's starting to stick now, even on Monday. 2-3 weeks ago, when the few weeks he would hit us with bearish news, it evaporate by the middle night of Sunday, and the Monday come in, buyers step in. I'm starting to see the shift. So let's pay attention to news. We may be able to clap him for 200% banger or something like that. And then that's what I'm trying to fully understand, appreciate it, flush the closing bell. No, I'm talking about a swing setup potentially. But I'm not gonna mess with spot though. All right. What else did I want to say? Something else. All right. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Let me open up with a prayer, because we're already like an hour in. We didn't pray. I don't feel like myself, and we always give it to God first. So I'm gonna do it a little different. I'll start off in Arabic, and then I'm gonna go into what it means in. I'm going to translate Arabic into English, and I'm gonna give you the breakdown of it, and then we can start. I don't care how long I take. God first. But no, I won't be long. All right, and I will use. All right, so I say Allah. Allah means God. Try not to look at it any type of way, because I'm Muslim. Just when you hear Allah, just think of God. That's what it means in Arabic. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Malik Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-sirata mustaqim. Sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amen. Praise be to Allah, Lord of the worlds. Allah is the creator, sustainer, and the master of everything that exists. The most gracious, the most merciful. His mercy surrounds all of creation, and he is especially merciful to those who believe and turn to him. Master of the day of judgment, a reminder that every person will stand before Allah or God and answer for what they did in this life. It is you alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help. This is the heart of Islam. Worship belongs only to Allah, and our reliance is ultimately on him alone, nobody else next to him. Guide us to the straight path. A prayer for guidance every single day, because guidance isn't a one-time event. We constantly need God to keep us on the right path, the path of those you have blessed, not of those who earn your anger, nor of those who went astray. A prayer to follow the example of the righteous and avoid the paths of the rebellion and the misguided. Um, and then we got Surah Al Asr. It's a prayer, very short. It says, by time indeed mankind is in loss, except those who believe and do righteous deeds and encourage one another to the truth and encourage one another to patience. So Allah's this is the last thing. God swears by time itself. Time is one of our greatest blessings and one of our greatest tests. Every second that passes can never be recovered. By default, every human being is losing. Time is always slipping away. If we do nothing meaningful with our lives, we lose. Faith is the foundation. Faith alone isn't enough. It must be followed by action. And I put the emphasis on that because church and a masjid is not enough. All right. Believers don't just seek truth for themselves, they remind and support one another in following it. Success requires perseverance. Every worthwhile goal demands patience through hardship, setbacks, and tests. I greet everybody in the words of peace be upon you. In Arabic, we say assalamu alaikum. That's what I have for y'all. Then we can go on to the next one. So, segment the sniper roadmap. We got bullish and bearish paths, key levels, inflection points, and we already did the economic calendar and catalyst. Well, Rams went over that, so we don't have to do that again. I mean, we kind of did the sniper roadmap. Ranger.
Real quick, to Alex's point, we actually might flush to close.
Oh, he was telling. Oh,
Yeah.
He was talking. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we might. We're getting, if we get back below this 9:30 open, we definitely will.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense with all the drama going on. We don't know
Yeah.
what news, what are we going to tackle through the weekend, which is a high
Exactly.
possibility because it's a trend as well. Or does this get worse over the weekend and we have a catastrophe open on? But I think it's risk off for this closing for sure. It does look like it.
Yeah.
It's
And this, I'm
definitely
looking at the
risk off.
monthly candle. So making of a candle from the monthly perspective, next week is distribution, where we should see a nice move. And for the month, we just rejected current month open yesterday, and closed below it. So it's definitely it looks like it's printing a bearish candle for the month, and we should still be lower likely to prior month low. Hold on, we can answer Daddy in 1 second. Likely to prior month low. So something to consider, but I think I'm watching ES 73.98 tonight. And then likely prior month low after that.
So, Talisha, you might as well keep going because this is literally the segment right here. What we see, bullish, bearish. The only thing I want to say is Netanyahu is going to travel to Washington Monday. He just was invited by Trump, and he'll be there on Tuesday, and he'll be attending a funeral ceremony for Senator Lindsey Graham. So we're definitely going to get a taco at the beginning of next week.
Mm.
All right, 1 second. Let me
I believe it. I believe it.
Share.
Unless not, he's starting to get bold. Unless they get like a little dispute in that office on Monday and Tuesday, because the way their Eagles is, they're not going to be able to keep like
agreeing on everything.
And we're starting to see people in the U.S. starting to speak against Israel, starting to say like we're starting to back them a little too much now. So that's interesting.
I've seen that too.
All right, share this here and then turn it over to you all. So I like to look at ES when I'm looking at the making. Well, what do you want me to talk about? Just the making of a candle, like just the not entries yet, right?
No, this is we're basically our bearish and bullish thesis.
I see. Okay. Yeah. I got you. Okay. I didn't see Pat's comment. Oh, okay, honey. 1 second. I got you. He wants yellow chips. He wants tortilla chips. It's 11:30. Lord have mercy. Okay. So bias. So structurally, right? So I'm on the daily chart right now. I go up to the weekly. Obviously in the grand scheme of things, structure is still very bullish on the higher time frames. We're not bearish on the weekly until we get down below 72.93.50 on ES. And I'm looking at ES right now instead of SPY, just because sometimes it's easier because it has almost 24-hour price action. It's easier to see. It's more clear to see where those inefficiencies are, where structure really is. So when I'm looking at SPY, even though I chart SPY every day, multiple times a day, I always look at ES as for reference as well, because it just gives me a clearer picture and it trades 24 hours. So I get nice clean price action, not a whole bunch of gaps and stuff like that. So weekly is not bearish until we flip here at 72.94.75. And on the daily, I think technically we did flip bearish on the daily up here when we closed below this low at like actually just yesterday is where I think this was minor structure, but this was kind of the main one. I still don't consider us bearish, even though structurally we closed below that low. I don't consider us real bearish until we get below this low, because we have been ranging so much, like Ab said. So I am short-term bearish in the sense that I think we're going to come down and clean up some of these inefficiencies. And I do think that we're going to get to this prior month low pretty quickly. And distribution week next week could take us down even lower into this fair value gap. So that's kind of what I'm watching. I'm not bullish, not even close. Long term, yes, but not even close short term until if we were to close. Oh my God, this is true. If we were to close back above.
Go get them tortillas.
Lord have mercy. He be asking for the most. Where's my phone? Where's my coffee? It's crazy. In my house, it's crazy here in this house.
Alicia, let me talk to you. Let me talk to you. Mommy won't let you eat? It's like, I'm playing.
Oh my God.
I'm playing.
Alicia, he wants a
Ab, you a
taco.
fool for that.
He wants
He
a
wants a
taco.
taco. He wakes up talking about I want to eat. Anyway, I'm not bullish short term until we at least get back up here across 75.50 on ES. The other thing that has my bias bearish is this purple line is my monthly VWAP, and we rejected that. This is what I was actually frustrated about yesterday because I had this mapped out for a while. I missed this drop when I really should have swung it on Wednesday. But we rejected heavily this monthly VWAP. We rejected the current month open. We closed below current month open, rejected the mid-range of that monthly range. All these signs are pointing down. So that would have been a nice swing. But yeah, bearish for now, short term, until we clean up some of these inefficiencies. But that doesn't mean that I'm not bullish long term. And like Ab said already, we've just been in this massive box since May, I think 11th it was.
Yep, talk to me. Whose birthday that is?
Don't you have 2 birthdays? So I'm gonna say that one's not yours. No, I'm kidding. Yes, since your birthday, you have kept us in this box.
Yeah.
So we've been in this box since May 11th, and it's hard to have a bias until we get out of this range, really. But structurally, those are my thoughts. But until we start to see some traction outside of here, it's just really hard to have a bias. So we really are just trading this range until we can break it. Once we break it, it's definitely coming down to clean up some of this stuff down here. This is our 331, and I'm on the daily. If I go out to the weekly, I mean, there's so much down here that we can clean up. So those are my thoughts. Does that help, Pat? Does that answer your question? And this is where I get the 697 from. It's right in here. There's so much inefficient price action. We ran up from March 31st up to May. It just didn't come back and clean up anything. So that's what I'm kind of waiting for. And then once we do that, then I think it's either, and then it's make or break, right? We either get into real bear territory and something crazy happens, or we pop and we go back up and start seeing all-time highs again.
Yeah, we're flagging on a weekly.
Yeah, we are. This nasty range, I'd kind of it's on one of my charts, mapped out what I was seeing, but it's just a nasty range until we can break it.
And I agree with pretty
I
much
agree.
with everything she said. I'm still aiming for all-time highs, but after all-time high, I'm overall bearish. For the most, well, overall, we're all going to be bullish. The market goes up at the end of the day, but like I would say medium term, then I guess you'll say like I think into mid next year it's gonna be bearish. I'm bearish for a little minute, but right now I'm short term. I'm looking. Yeah, that's what I said. I said the same thing. Mommy be tripping, but I see new all time highs soon, and maybe a week or in 2 weeks, maybe I'm not sure. But all time highs I see, and then I see the pullback, and I think that pullback is going to come down to 700 to 680, and I can't wait because I got a whole bunch of cash that I done got out of plays. What TE I got out of CLV I got out of, and SoFi I just been sitting on money. I haven't really been day trading. I'm just waiting for that. Once we lose this range, this huge range that we're in, remember that's liquidity. That's a liquidity grab. It's like a whole bunch of money in the pot, and we got to find out who's going to snatch the money, if they're going to snatch it and run up or snatch it and run down. Whichever way they go, it's going to be explosive, huge, big move. And if they go to the downside, we're looking at like that 6,900 area on ES. But you wanted to add to that, Rams?
I totally agree, and I actually fall in confidence with T on that 697. I got 696, so that is an area. Yeah, I'm looking at 700 obviously, but 696 is that area, that sweet discount that I'm really looking for to see. I would definitely put all my attention once we get to that, because like T said, that's make or break area. Either the market changes character, because long term macro view we are bullish. Just for the short term, and in short term in the market could easily be 3 months. So the time is nothing, but the market can stay like this for months, and it can come all the way down to 696, chop out there, and then eventually we take off. But, and I also agree with you, I do see a tough road for the market until next year, somewhere after March. But I do see us teeter-tottering with inflation to end and begin the year. So this will have the market, and I like actually that even if it goes up and does a spring load attempt, all-time high, collects, and then that's textbook. It's textbook.
And go ahead.
No, go ahead. So I was just gonna say I'm not overly bearish short term. I'm being very careful, and as far as plays, I'm not taking anything. I'm not leaping. I'm not wishing. I'm just trading what I have in front of me. I'm trading the move, my immediate moves, and that's how we're staying afloat all year. Hopefully next year it comes back to, or maybe we get good opportunities for these leaps. But these leap opportunities, I won't see clear until we get lower down there to that 700, 696 area. That is where the risk outweighs the reward. And I am paying attention to the risk first before I get into any leap attempt.
Yeah, that was well
we
said.
Can trade these ranges. We can trade this. We're good traders. I mean, we can trade this, but we have to make sure. And this is not just for us three. This is for everyone in the district, because everybody's doing their thing. So this is tradable and manageable. Just be very careful when you're sizing into the intent. Oh, I'm taking this leap because it's like Abs mentioned the other day. Just because something might be cheap or look cheap right now doesn't mean it's cheap, because the market is at all-time highs. So when it sweeps and distribution kicks into phase, there is no time to get out. Why are you going to get out once we're already getting to structure? If you already bought time, if you don't break the downward structure, hey, you going to get out now? You already lost all the money. You should have been ahead of time. This is how you what I always put, this is a sniper's HQ model. Protect initial capital first. So the trade intent matters right now. especially going back and forth. We're playing tennis between Iran, Trump, and he says this, and now you just want to buy. Like, bro, not chill. Hold on, all right. Well, where's the market? Damn, the market's being resilient. Okay, I get that. I understand. But now, how much more of resiliency do you want? This is where are we? We're in a weekly right there. So right there is off that break in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have almost 3 months in this range. And we failed to go higher there. Right? And that last higher low, lower high, we failed to go higher. So now what happens is, okay, a little more downside, boom, you explode to the upside. Now you got we running. Damn, that was the level, because that is a level right there on that fib 0.23, 728. That's beautiful for a nice little rip up. 730, 728 area, I think. Now you shoot all the way up and then pull a rug.
Yeah,
So
well
just
said.
be very careful here.
So this is kind of what I mapped out on SPY a couple weeks ago, when this candle was made, actually. And this is still what I see. The line in the sand for me is going to be exactly what Ram just said. If we get a weekly close below 682 and invert this fair value gap, then I see substantial more downside. If we don't and we bounce here, then I see that was the cleanup and we keep. But this could be just messy and stressful getting here.
I want to add to that as well.
You want to share?
Yeah.
Oh. You want to share too? You're a great sharer.
So he must get that from his daddy. All right. So on here on
Don't
SPY,
start.
I got
Don't
700. All right, cool. All right, 700. So I was just looking at this while Rams was talking, and I see the 200-day moving average is at $698.54. So I looked at my levels, and I don't. Oh, man, it's gonna be so hard for SPY to break 715. The thing that I don't like with SPY is how we're holding up here for so long. When you range and hold like that, it tells me one thing: we're letting the moving averages catch up, and the moving averages are they're catching up, and they're just moving up. They're not flat. If they're flat and they're lower down, that gives me high conviction. That tells me that the market is looking to come down to that level, but they're rising up. So 715 is getting very close to my AV WAP at 722. So 720 is going to be very, very hard for us to break below. If we break below 722 at 715 and then $698.54, if they let it get under that, it's going to be nasty, real nasty. And then I was looking at the gamma, our JEX and stuff. Our JEX favors the upside. I seen 680 with 800 with a lot of money. And then I look at the downside. All the money to the downside is short term. It's I seen 730. I seen 720 was big. Was a big put. All right, 740, 735, 730, 725, 720 was our last big put. Put wall. Everything below 720 is not much money. 710 will be the next, and after that, I don't see nothing lower than 710 that catches my eyes. What it catches my eyes, I mean, I see 700, but it's still not much. It's half a bill. That's still not much. There's more at 800. So that 760 area is on my radar, but I think we got to go see 720 to 710 first. I don't know. It's a crazy market, so let's see what happens. So next we can move on We got this is a quick segment. This is basically what my Talisha and Rams, what is our sniper focus list? So for me, my core focus or the momentum rotation remains the same. I said health, industrials, and energy, but overall, my core focus is to work on my discipline and take as few trades as possible and uh rarely deploy capital. That is my core focus, is to make sure that I could build my cash up as much as possible to take advantage. We done seen stocks like Iron hit 32, right? Our target was 30. We've seen that hit 32. That is a very valuable stock to the industry. We done seen Meta get smoked. We're seeing Google and these solid, valuable companies get smoked to the point where NVIDIA CEO just created an X account today, and he's announced it, and he wants people to follow him. You know why? They're going to try to manipulate NVIDIA's price action with tweets. So, the Mag 7 was holding us up months ago. Now the Mag 7 came and hold themselves up. So what's going to hold us up besides Trump mouth? But Trump is going back to tariff, man. Once he starts talking about tariffs and stuff, the war, he's so smart, but I don't like him. But he's very smart because we talked about us going to phase 2. Phase 2 means that the war headlines will no longer rattle the market. So what does Trump do? Like 2 days after us going to phase 2, he starts these tariffs. He comes back with the tariffs, and now he's really doubling down on the tariffs every day because he understands that the market isn't reacting to the war headlines no more. So just be very careful. They're looking to build liquidity. This is going to happen the whole summer. Our layout that we got of the 5 macro distribution, please pay attention to that. July is straight on point. August is telling us that we're going to consolidate and go really sideways and make a lot of people tap out. So August, try to work on your discipline. Try to enter as few trades as possible. Aim for risk $1 to make $3 or even more than that. Try not to scalp a dollar for a dollar. It's not worth it. And that's my core focus, is really to just be disciplined and even more stingy than what my money than what I already am. So what are y'all core focus that y'all got, Rams, Talisha?
I'll be quick with this because I agree with everything you said. And to add, my core focus right now is I'm trading the market in front of me. I'm picking up long-term equity, yes, for sure. That is different. I pick up on my shares. We go a little lower into structural points. If it's a company that I hold that I'm building a position in, I will add. As far as leaps, like I stated before, that is not my core focus at the moment. I am just trading the market in front of me. Those of you inside the Discord see the style right now. To wait a few days, we can ride it out, but then we gone. We got to trade the plan. I work as much as I can on my analysis. I like it very thorough for a reason, because when price comes to where my analysis says, I have to execute. There is no time for me to start second guessing my blueprint. I have to execute because there's a window of time. You guys always know I refer back to the ring. Once I catch that counter, I have to shoot. If I think, once I catch a jab, if I think about throwing the counter, the moment is gone. That was the plan. I baited you. You threw your punch. I slipped. What now? I made you miss. I got to make you pay. So now when my analysis is mapped out on my chart, once I start seeing the levels, I start watching, okay, what is the reaction here? I'm watching the hourly. I'm watching the macro context. I'm not just sitting on the 5 minute unless I am day trading, unless my intent is to be, I have an hour or 2, 3 hours to spare, and I'm sitting on the screen, because once I'm in the trade, I got to watch where my levels, my reaction to those levels. Where my take profit one is, I have to execute. There's no negotiating. Once you map out your analysis, there's no negotiating that part. You say, I take
Mhm.
profit here. I have a profit number two here. And then this profit here is ambitious. What does ambitious mean? It means if we're just running and you can't just, you just can't stop the run. You know, we've been in some place sometimes where you get in one day, the next day it gaps up and it goes. What are you going to do? You can't control that. Okay, so well, we skip from TP1 to TP2. Let me trim. Now my ambitious target becomes actual, right? Because we're there so fast. But your third target, your ambitious target, doesn't always have to, you don't have to hold on a play just to hit. You have to watch the reaction. You have to watch reaction. Respect your invalidation zones. Even if it goes up a day or two later, after it hit your invalidation zone, if you're watching the hourly and the hourly is your structural point, or the 4 hour, or whatever the daily, and it breaks that line in the stand for you, that is your rule. You have to follow it. And my core focuses is always, okay, what is my trade intent here? Okay, I get my analysis from the macro context. I know the environment that we're in. I have to stay focused. Just because I know in the weekly context, do I want to solve for chop? Because this is the environment we're in. It's you think we're going, and then boom, you get slammed down. Okay, puts. You think we're going down? Oh, nah, you better check and get it and look left. You better hit that weekly up because now we're macro demand. Macro demand is big. A demand zone on a higher parent time frame. Your parent time frames are from the daily and on. Well, I look freezing. Like I'm freezing.
Yeah, it is. It's like what we had last week, but I could hear you this time though, so it's
Mm.
okay.
So
Yeah,
on
we
the
can hear you
macro
clear.
context, yeah, you might want to see something, but now you have to also look, okay, what is the market environment? It's not a regular market environment. We have a year where, okay, we have a new Fed. We have a year where we have the war in Russia and Ukraine still going on. That's still somehow making all the news that's still a thing. And then now we have Iran and US conflict. The whole world is watching. We are in uncertain times, so you have to be very careful. And I do condone on buying your shares. This is the moment. These are the times. Let these crashes come. Let these, because this is where we position. This is the bread and butter, the shares building positions. But that is my core focus to have you guys, which I already see a lot of you guys. You guys are phenomenal in how you're looking at market already. So my core focus right now is everyone in Snipers HQ.
That's a fact. And before we give it to Talisha, I just want to piggyback off of the shares thing. Just whatever you're used to when you learned about shares, get it out, remove it out your head. Just with shares and stuff, it is good to buy it when it drops slow, but you want to be strategically buying. Your first buy should always be your starter. It should never be all in,
Mm-hmm.
right? So just make sure you guys are strategically buying because you in this market we're going to get so many great opportunities, but the goal is to not miss out on the opportunities, but also not to get FOMO and buy. If I say I get Palantir at $150 because I think that it can't go lower than 150, so I jump in real quick and then it goes to 115. Now you got to keep averaging down, and so just be really strategic and be patient. It's shares. You could be patient because with this market, it'll drop hard and then rally for a few days. But if you give it another week, it'll come back down and even lower. So just make sure you know where you're buying at with the shares. And that's all I have. Talisha, you want to add to this? And then I'll go over. I see what you said, Charlotte.
Yeah, I can add. My focus is.
They had talked to Stephanie about Trump and his announcements and coming back at 2:00.
I missed that,
So
Lakia.
Trump
Sorry. Go
at
ahead.
2 o'clock, you said? When is that?
Yeah, somebody said he's going to talk again at 2 o'clock, and I think it was Sean that had mentioned he had threatened some tariffs.
Oh,
Lord have mercy if he just be
Yep.
quiet.
Because they were
Yeah,
robbing the big
I
tech
see.
people.
And then yep. I seen
Let
that.
me
And
let
then
me just say something real
I
quick.
was gonna.
I don't mean to cut you off.
Okay.
To answer
You're fine.
Sandra's question, the scalp or day trade, they're similar. Scalp is practically trading a candle or two. You're scalping. You're going quick, in and out, in and out. A day trade, you might want to let it marinate between those 24 hours. That's a day trade. Anything that you go in and out of. So you might go in at 10 o'clock in the morning. You know, if you want to be in a full day trade by next day 10 o'clock, that is your full day trade. So you can in and out at any point of in time of your thesis playing out. So if you're day trading and scalping, then you have to be okay. What is the daily context? 4 hour levels, hour levels. Okay, now I'm playing in the 15, 5 minute, 2 minute field. 1 minute. I don't suggest people to play in the 1 minute. It's vicious. 2 minutes. I love structure in 2 minutes. You get enough volume in 120 seconds to see where certain players are stepping in. So I've switched over to a 2 minute versus a 1 minute. But that is just my preference. Just because I like the structure on the 2 minute candles. And if I am day trading and scalping, I am focused on 15 minute, 30 minute, 5 minute. And then I am watching the 2 minutes. But I'm not getting scared by the 2 minute action because at the end of the day, my leader is the 30 minute. Right? So I can have a pullback all the way down, say if I'm just watching the 9 EMA. And I can have a pullback all the way down to my 9 EMA, but what does that mean on the 30 minute? If I'm getting a pullback on the 30 minute, right? On the 15 minute, I broke under the 9 EMA. So you can't let the lower child time frames take you out of your trade. If you're understanding, okay, if I'm on a day trade, I'm watching the 30 minute. If I break this level on the 30 minute, this moving average on the 30 minute, I walk away. But as long as that doesn't happen, and then if you see this action happening on the 15 minute or the 5 minute, because now you're going to be way under your moving average if you're waiting for that one to come down on the 30 minute. On the 5 minute, you're way under the 9 now. So now you got to see, okay, well, if I'm under the 9 on the 5 minute, where's the 20-day on the 5 minute where it'll correlate and fall in confluence with my 9 EMA on the 30 minute? And as long as I don't lose that key level, my day trade is still on. Right? Or you can trade your scalps, which is, okay, they're internal levels, right? You have supply and demand zones which stand at unmitigated zones, right? Then you have support and resistance inside of those major supply and demand. Then you have real, even smaller internal structures of support and resistance where you can build your scalps from.
Okay. That was good.
Okay,
So
that
before
was about selecting the contract.
Well, the contracts, always give yourself the insurance of enough time to let your thesis play out. What I mean by that, like, okay, if you're looking from the 4 hour down, you're playing this range, you're playing this breakout of this pattern that falls in confluence with this internal support level, right? Now, I need this at bare minimum 2 weeks to play out because these are my day trades. I could be out by tomorrow. Hopefully it plays out faster than later, right? But if it doesn't, at least I have the insurance of time where I can give myself the luxury of, okay, as long as I don't lose my invalidation levels, I can stay in the trade for an easy 3 days and let it play out. But bare minimum, I mean, I do, if I'm a trader where, see, T is different. She loves to spank those 0 DTEs. I wouldn't dare. I've played them. I've won. I've lost them. It's too. I feel like it's not for me. So I like the calm and tranquility. I did all this analysis. I don't need it to play out right away. I just need to catch it at my sniper target zone. If I can catch it at that area where I know where structural meets the higher road, okay, that's all I need to see. It can play out in 2 days from now. That's fine with me. But I have the luxury that I gave myself paying the premium of insurance. It's good to, I would love to. I mean, to catch those 0 DTEs at 0.5, at 0.2, and poof, you make a killing. That's lovely, but that is not my trading style. So I don't do well with that. So I leave that to the pros. I do well with when I have time, the pressure is off.
Okay.
So I know. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not I have time, so let it do what it does. Not at all. But it is, I have time to let my thesis play out one way or another. I don't have to rush and give myself such a tight squeeze because it's not my style, because I'm being backed by an institutional player. Now, that candle might be like this. The wick might be like this. Damn, you're not seeing the way I'm like doing everything with my hands.
Yeah, we can see you.
Okay, so it's like all laggy.
Yeah, yeah.
So you with my style, I'm backed by volume. I'm looking for whales. I'm looking to see who can back my price, my floor up. So now sometimes they want to pick some more up. I have to stay with them and wait for them to let's go, take off. So that is in my style and my type of trading where it doesn't allow me to feel comfortable in 0 DTE. So I like anything 2 weeks. If I'm very convicted, I'll give myself 7 days. But I have to be so convicted, like very convicted. If the setup is there, 2 weeks is always my preference. Is my thin line where I feel very comfortable and at ease and letting my play out. I could easily sit 3 days, ride out 3 days, 4 days in a trade, having 2 weeks.
Okay. So are we still looking at the same 0.16 delta? Like the silver we just did.
Is this getting into entries and exits? Let's hold on.
Yeah. But no, Levine, that's just for mapping out your weeklies. That's just giving you the range of play, like the field that price is going to want to play in for that week. So that's where your 0.16 deltas come in and your weekly expected moves. That's just to map out your range for the week, your range for the month. And now you know where price, okay, now I go to ROTC and I go and get my levels for the week because I got the monthly mapped out or I got the weekly mapped out. Let me get the daily levels and you map out your zone for the next week. And that's your 0.16. That's your extended top of the range. Your 0.16 on the bottom end is your extended bottom of the range. So that's what your 0.16s represent.
Bet.
For the breakdown.
So, before we're gonna go into Talisha what her core focus is. Before we do that, I just want to point out first, I already said it. It was somebody, Jordan Peace King, and then YouTube. I see you over there. I think it was Amandra Peace Queen. My Quantum Healing Space. I love your name. Akeem Peace King. SB Glow. What's up, Peace King? So peace and blessings to everybody just joining. I do wanna talk about our Discord before we let Talisha go ahead and tell us where her core focus is, and then the next segment is how do you enter or exit a trade, and that's where we really could go into the questions. So first, Charla, she just joined us in the Discord. Speaking of the Discord, we're going to be opening the Discord and we're going to be going premium to everybody that's in the Discord. We'll let everybody else know, but we're going to do August 7th is when we're gonna go premium. And I know we've been telling you guys for months though. Come on, it's only $35. You done paid more for worse. That's it in real quick. Just marinate it. All right. So yeah. So I just want to point out what Charlotte said here. I just cut an open call option this rising that expired January 2027 because of the housing report. We had this because of the housing report, we had this rising at a loss. But cutting any that was deep under the water, and for the first time, I don't have emotional tie to it. Progression. I'm with you, Ad, sitting on cash. So that right there is the mindset that we're trying. We want everybody to go from being scared to cut a play because it's going to leave them when they cut the play to this right here. Not having an emotional tie to something.
Yeah.
That is the goal for everybody in the Discord. So speaking of the Discord, let's go ahead and go to the Discord. If you don't know too much about it, it's the Snipers HQ. Is the name of our Discord. And as you can see, everything on the left column is here, $35 a month for the most part. And if you want notifications for our terminal that we use that basically lets you know when they hop in the trade and not. It gives you notifications. It's called the I'm not?
No.
Thank you. I just literally started sharing my screen too. So I've been working on this, so you're not going to see notifications since the 17th, but not depending on if it's calls or puts, the system looks at JEX, your call wall, your put wall, looks at macro, looks what the institution is doing, and it go ahead and it takes the trade for you, tells you what to do, but your job is never to follow an indicator or a robot or anything. You want to use this as your confluence. Make sure you see what it's seeing first, and if it matches up, you know that's really a strong confluence. This thing right here, the hit rate is insane. I just post everything so you could just see it, but I stopped really keeping track of posting the screenshots, but I post everything here now, the notifications here, and you could just line it up yourself, and this thing doesn't really miss. It's elite for sure. And then so that'll be $50 a month if you want that included. And then if you do the $50 a month, you'll have access to the terminal and you'll have access to the sports betting section as well. So then we'll go into that. But look, we got everything, charts, levels, patterns. We got the community plays. We want to start seeing more people give us not necessarily a play, but a setup. I want to start seeing setups, so we could we could see people like evolving. And so then we got general. This is where you access any questions. If you got any ideas and inputs on the Discord, what you think make the Discord better, or any merch ideas. We got something coming up. Then the den where you just want to chill. You don't want to really talk about markets too much. Then you got, if you're a queen, you go in there with the queens and chop it up. And then kings, we got our spot as well. All men stuff. Then it's all women stuff in there. So for the most part, it's open to queens is open for kings. Kings is open for queens, but I mean, you really shouldn't really go in there. I don't really check that stuff. You don't really want to see them talking about feminine products and whatnot and stuff like that. And then they respect us as well, too. They don't just come in there. I'm sure they might glance real quick, but they don't really sit there and observe us like creeps, So we shouldn't do the same. I know I'm saying this because we're going to be a bigger community. And if we can't respect each other and do that, you'll just be removed like immediately. So then this is the trading psychology. Basically, this is so important. Though we're gonna start posting in here a little more. But like this right here, discomfort is where growth lies, right? And then I love being calm under pressure. You can really see how the fight or flight create emotions. That is a fact. And then you got your journal, and we need to start doing that more as well. I ain't gonna lie, I need to start putting my journals in here. wins and wisdoms. So don't just put your wins in here. It says wins and wisdom, meaning, you know, never stop trading. So he normally does. So that's a pass on him. He normally will say, and he always is in Talisha channel, pointing out what he sees and stuff. So we know he's a sniper. So that's fine. But for like majority, we just really want to see why you're posting this and was it a lucky win or not. So please just try to tell us like your setup. Basically, you don't got to be long. It can be a quick sentence. You've seen recaptured AV WAP above this, that. Then your losses and your lessons. I don't post it here because everything is in my Ab Snipes channel. So if I take losses, you already know I took them. And I'll gladly say that I took a loss. So this is everybody in here, and this really is called losses and lessons because it's not really a loss. It's only a loss if you give up, you quit, right? Then we just opened this up, so this is a dedicated channel for the voices in the Discord just to tell us their experiences, not even what just the market. If it did anything for your mindset, your discipline, your relationship with God, and all of that, just becoming a better leader, just everything. Because if you look at our Discord, it's different from everybody else Discord, and I can't stress that enough because it's a fact, and I'm gonna show you why. Because we're starting to get to the bottom, the good stuff. Like this is another thing right here. We posted a documentary of Paul Tudor Jones, who had one of the biggest trades ever. I think the third biggest trade ever, and it was a documentary of his every move, his calculated move, to that day, right? And we went and found a documentary and we posted it for our people. You don't really see other, and then mind you, this documentary gets removed for the last 40 years. It's been getting removed over and over and over and over and over. We went and found that thing, put it in there. Then we got our education section. Anything you need to know about, we for the most part we got, and we just continuing to add market structure, ICT, call wall, put wall, anything you need, we got volume, all of that stuff. For the most part, everything you need to know is in here. And if you don't know it, you just go to Ask Snipers. Then I got my channel. Yes, what was the name? I used to sing what was his name? Barry White, but before he was Barry White, it was this group. I forgot the name of the group, but yes, I'm a singer. So if you wanted some entertainment, want to hear a beautiful voice, all you got to do is just ask me. Maybe, I might talk to you. I might say something here and there, whatever. Just don't go crazy. I got a queen. So pause off. But I do sing. So if you want to hear something like that, make you levitate real quick with my voice. Then my analysis for SPY and all that stuff I put in there. I swing. I do leaps. I day trade. I invest. I do it all. I just do it all, and then we have Rams and Talisha channel that we gotta go over. I'm doing because they just don't help the brother out sometimes. It's like, I know I played my part, but sometimes a brother needs help, but I don't get no help from them. So yeah, just don't even mind this. We're gonna skip this part. See, look at that. Just snatch the money back from me. Absolutely rude. All I did was ask for some money. It's hard out here. Gas is almost $5. So, oh snap. So you probably just seen that, or you're probably gonna pause on it like a little asshole. Excuse my French. So this is Ram's channel. He don't really day trade, but he does like I would say deep swings right there, and he be killing it. He be killing it. But if you don't pay attention to his channel, I'm going to do a notification thing before we go premium where you'll be able to hit the emoji for every channel that you want to get notifications from, and then the channels that you don't want to get notifications from, you just won't get them. So you have to make sure you click on every channel that you want notifications from. And yeah, with his plays, you gotta really, they say not to just jump with somebody off the cliff, but with his, you kind of have to. His plays leave you like, and you know how like that, you ever get on that bus, that Metro or that Atlanta bus, Like you got to be there at 3:30 if it says it's going to be there at 3:30 because they're going to come at 3:27. That's how Rams is. You know, he gets in his play, he releases his play, and it's like if you don't get in it within the next 5 minutes, or definitely before closing, it's going to gap up over, right, and you won't be able to get in. So he's absolutely killing it. He killed it on silver. That was just his runner that was up 15%. I believe he even was in 20-something percent. He actually got the most valuable player award. This is the MVP trophy that he received actually on the 22nd. Actually it was 44%. And I know he probably, my bad. Let me just get up out your channel. So he's over there killing it, and he actually thought about us and gave us a cheap play. It was only like $350 something. Normally it'd be like you got to have a couple bands. I'm not talking about 2 bands. You got to have like 15 bands to get in his plays. So that's 15 stacks. All right. So then we have Talisha's channel. If you've been in a Discord with if you've been in a Discord where they just day trade all the time and stuff, just leave that and just come here because nobody's a better day trader than Talisha. And she's just getting started. And if you think otherwise, just come in here and just be amazed for yourself. And then on top of that, when I day trade night, if you see me and Talisha and Rams getting the same play at the same time, just jump in. Don't even check the chart, right? This is not financial advice, though, right? I'm not telling you to press the button, but she's absolutely killing it, and she's so disciplined. She hasn't taken the trade all freaking week, and then last week she killed it, so we know she got money, and that ties us back to this post right here. Talisha's been smacking her day trades at a clip most not doing, and she hasn't gotten a trade this week. It tells me one thing. She got some money and isn't spending it. Also, I never got paid. It's so hard collecting from her. That's another story. But yeah, it's no better day trader than her. So just come on. If you're a day trader, come to the group, and we got everything you need. Day trading, swing trading, leap shares. We got our prayer wall. Jason, he's faithfully always in here, dropping some soul food on us, the word of God, and then we got our faith and purpose channel. And by the way, anybody's allowed to post whatever they want in here. Not whatever they want, but they're allowed to post in here at all. And this is like where your scriptures will go, and just anything that deals with faith, right, and purpose. You want to put all of that in here, like even all praises due to Allah. Even someone Levine put in here, her loans was fully paid off. Then we got the Beyond the Honeymoon channel. Just not just about the market at all. We got how to strengthen your relationship and stuff in here. Like I gotta step it up because I don't want to say his name because that's stuff, but apparently he got the masseuse coming to the house. I thought just taking her to the masseuse was good, but apparently we need to have him come to the house. So all right, so thanks for making us feel like nothing. And then let me show you how she tagged us. Take notes, fellas. Wow, absolutely wow. All right, so then we have our beautiful garden section. Yeah, we got watermelon in there. We got sweet peppers in there, jalapeno, hachabla. We got everything, squash, all that, and everybody's in here posting what they got, what they're doing. Oh my God, I gotta show y'all my watermelon plant. This was my watermelon plant, and it's like almost 2 feet long now. And this was 2 weeks ago. Amazing. Then posting Lakia posted her flowers, then Levine shows you the process, how to dry out her herbs and all that good stuff. Then we got our discipline channel, we got our recipe channel if you like to cook. Then we got our health. I know it's so much, right? It's so much. Then we got our wellness channel, leave them medicines alone. We got everything you need, and then we got our sports bet, and this is the newest addition to our channel. And I've been on the heater I went on a losing streak like the first 2 days, but then the last 2 days, we've been smacking Royals. We had Diamondbacks. We hit a parlay, 3-leg parlay. Then the day before that, we smacked as well. So we eat in with stocks and sports betting, and then the whole full UFC and boxing card is there. I got some baseball up here too for today that starts at in like a half an hour. So if you in the Discord, you go ahead and lock in before the game starts. I think it starts at 4, something like that Eastern time. And if you play fantasy football, come on over. So I know I went on a rant with that Discord thing, but it's important because we want to get as many people in here that we can get, because you'll pay that 35 and see how much you'll see that it's worth way more than that. We got ramsoffthechart.com. We got so much. We got so much. We got a terminal. We got if you don't know how to position size right, you blowing accounts. We got a calculator that could calculate how much money you should be putting on each trade, and if you're allowed to even take the trade. We got everything you need, and I promise you, just being in the group for a month, you will learn so much, and it'll change the way you think if you're in there and listening and learning and joining all of our lives. And I'm sorry again that I went on such a long rant, but we pray that a lot of people stay premium. We pray that we get a lot of new people that come in, so we could just keep growing. And then because if we teach you, then we know we're going to teach. We have a more of a reach to other people, and we always give a free game too. So yeah, the lives won't stop. They'll just cut down. We won't do Fridays when we go on premium, but you'll still see us Monday and Wednesday. And then Talisha, do you want to talk about what you got coming up? I don't want to say the name of it. And then you could also tell us your core focus as well. But I don't know if you want to bring up what you got going on the 30th.
I just got back. Thanks, Lakia.
Yeah.
I had to go take him potty. Yeah, so we have for the folks in the Discord, we're gonna have a sips and setups. Ab, if you want, you can hop in the Queen's channel briefly and pull up the flyer to share. Oh, okay, hold on.
She said briefly. No, I'm about to go scroll.
You can hop in there briefly. Let me give me 1 second.
Let me mute myself.
Okay.
And I didn't know you took a couple of trades this week. Well,
yeah, I did, but I didn't post them. They were too risky to post, like, because people try to follow, and I can't explain it, and then they'll want to ask me questions while I'm in the trade.
Yeah.
So I can only post if it's like if I can actually explain what I'm doing and ask questions, all that. So.
Yeah. I'm gonna side message you because you can't be making me look bad like that, because I done told the people how disciplined
I was disciplined. I just didn't share.
Yeah, but I mean, still, I done told him that you didn't take no trade at all, so it makes me look like a liar. So I'm gonna side message you. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, okay. I'll get right back to you. So for the ladies in the Discord, we have a sips and setup session on the 30th. It's going to be our traders version of a happy hour. So come with questions, charts you want to look at. I'll be walking through in as much detail as I can, kind of how I look at charts and how I approach charting, time frame alignment, key levels, liquidity, imbalances. We'll be walking through all that, and then I won't get into like my setup specifically, only because everyone could have their own unique setup. But if you all have questions about it, I'm happy to dive deeper. It's just trying to make it as universal as possible. So come with questions, come with a glass of whatever you want to drink, water, wine, tequila, doesn't matter. Just come ready to learn and have some fun, and we'll get in these charts together and talk about some high probability setups for those of you that want to day trade.
And it says good wine, so don't bring dry to session. But Talisha, is this just for the queens?
Yes, it is.
Oh man.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I was ready yesterday. My mind and my calendar were not aligned, and I was telling my girlfriend, I'm like, I got a meeting at 7:00. I'm like, nope, it's not today. It is next week.
Yep, the 30th. This one's for the queens. We will do one that's open to all. And you know what? I was going back and forth on this, but men are so dominant in this space. So I don't feel bad about having it just for the women.
Nah, yeah, that's good. That's good though. I like that. I don't think you should have it for men either. It's not too many spaces that you're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna find any space, honestly, that does that. So that is pretty cool.
Yeah. So but I love all my brothers too. So we'll have more charting sessions in the future. This one we're gonna prioritize the ladies.
Yeah, just come on to the UFC and box and get some testosterone in you. Stop acting like a little, just you come on over and watch some bloody fights with us on Saturday. All right, there you go.
But yeah, that's all I got. So everyone in the Discord, this is not anything we're charging for. This is just part of what you get being a part of the community.
Nice. What's your core focus, Alicia? Like, are you just focusing on day trades and just reserving your cash capital, or like?
Yeah, so you don't hear me talk about long-term much because I don't do any of that. My husband does. So he takes care of like all the long-term stuff. And so from a market perspective, my focus, I mean, him and I will talk about it. We have our long-term approach is incredibly simple. We don't like try to chase what's new, what's hot. It's like it's very boring and stable. And that's just kind of how we manage that. And then Micah, please. And then when there are things that are of interest, he trades stocks. He doesn't do options, but he trades stocks. And so he kind of handles all that. So you won't hear me talking about long-term too much. It's just not my primary focus. So day trading is where my lane is. And my goal is just to continue mastering SPY. I can't overemphasize the value in like just focusing on one ticker. Like it's just been invaluable. Like understanding SPY's ranges, how it moves, and when to stay out. Like when it's gonna a high probability fake out environment. And so it's been my focus since the beginning of the year, and will continue to be for now. I'll likely start adding a couple tickers just as I get more comfortable with my entry models and just things that are a little bit more universal because not everyone trades SPY. I know there's a lot of IWM traders. So I may start adding a couple there, but it's just to continue mastery on my craft, which is currently day trading.
Love that. So yeah, you got 3 different type of traders. So find one that you gravitate towards and try to not copy them. But I always say I find what I like and then throw it into the blender. My style is like I got Bill Ackman. I would say I have a lot of different macro traders that I just put together and I threw it in a blender to create my own. So take as little as you can from us 3 and try to focus on which one of our trading style matches where you're at or where you want to be. Don't try to take so much from each one of us because some areas we do have a conflict. Some areas we don't quite meet at because our trading styles aren't the same. So if that makes sense. So it's going to be like that with everybody. It might be one day that I don't see what they see and vice versa. It may be one day that they don't see what I see and stuff like that. If you follow all of us, it's going to cause a lot of confusion. So if you are a day trader, try to stick with Talisha. If you someone that are at work and you want to just make some good money and you don't want to just keep spitting out money, Rams is a good person to follow. If you're someone that could stare at the market a lot, you do leaps, then I'm a good person to follow. But then you got to look into Rams, do volume divergence. Then I do moving averages and I'll put what Talisha do, market structure, straight ICT and not straight, but a lot of it is ICT wording. But I mean, her ICT language, her own wording. And so you just got to know what your style is because that hurts a lot of traders. I see, like Talisha brought up in one of our meetings that we had, a lot of traders they want to be in every Discord, and that hurts them because less is good in a lot of cases. You go to every Discord, now you're learning so many different styles, and now you're starting to confuse yourself, and you're starting to put so much pressure on yourself, and then you feel like you don't have enough time to learn this and that. It just hurts you more. You need to focus on one thing, master it first, and then move to the next. um and then Talisha, I did want to say, can you please do that? Oh, I don't know if I should say it on live, but the abbreviation thing that
Yeah.
I don't want
I'll
nobody
put
to steal.
something together.
Yeah,
I'll put something
bro.
together. But no, your point is that was the biggest differentiator in my day trading. I mean, I was talking to Abin Rams just at the beginning of this year, and I'm like, I suck at this. I can't get it together. I'm overthinking everything, like literally earlier this year, and focusing on how I see the market in one ticker was it was the game changer. Because I was an information overload. I was learning too many concepts, too many strategies, too many things. I could see the market a million different ways, and it does not help. And so that's where the whole clear model came from, because clarity is my edge. Like, that's what I have developed as my thing to be able to be profitable in this game. Is I have to have clarity. I have to see it how I see it. And I don't think we realize how personal these candles are, because Ab could take a trade and explain it beautifully, and I'll never see it the same way he sees it, because I'm not living in his lived experience. And so it doesn't matter how he explains the candles, I'm going to see it slightly different, because it's going to be through my lens. It's like putting someone else's glasses on, like their prescription. It's like, yeah, you might be able to make it out, but it's going to be a little bit blurry because it's not your prescription. And we each got to find our individual prescription and how we see the market.
I
And
like that.
until we do that, we're going to feel like we keep chasing, we keep failing, we keep just can't get it together. We keep feeling like we don't belong here because we don't have our own prescription on. We're trying to wear somebody else's prescription. And so all we do is give you all tools to help tweak what your prescription is. And Never Stop Trading is a great example of this. Like, he already knows how to see the trade, and when we get in my channel and trade together, like, he's not just like, what do you see? He's dropping what he sees and taking his own trades, but we're leveraging each other's confidence because we know we both have our own prescription on for the market. And so it makes the trades we do take that much more fire.
Hmm. And
Sorry.
that's super fire. And yeah, I'm glad we said that. Then we're gonna go in and let Rams tell us something real quick. I just want to say yeah, shout out to Never Stop Trading. He be absolutely killing it, and it's not even about him just hitting trades. It's his consistency, like with his losses, right? He really pays attention and makes sure he doesn't lose $1,000 one day, then lose $10 one day. He keeps it to a minimum. And yeah, he's been seeing it well. And like Talisha said, it helps because maybe she might not see, because we're not perfect. We're amazing traders, but we're not perfect. It might be a day where she might not see something, and he might call it out, and then she's like, "Oh, thanks." Now it helps her, or vice versa. He don't see nothing. And Talisha says, "Look, this, that." Like, so y'all can always use our input. We're not better than y'all. We don't, I don't say that y'all better than us. Maybe at the current time, but y'all can always change that, right? It's up to y'all to put in the work. You're gonna be chasing me for a long time, but I mean, you can get there. You can get there. You just gotta put in that work. You gotta want it more than me. No, for real though, you gotta really want it more than me. You gotta put in enough time. I've been doing this for years now. It's not something that you're gonna learn in a year and become successful. Some do, but not many. Not many at all. It takes about 2-3 years until you find your strategy and master it. With that, speaking of mastering strategy and stuff, let's see, how does this mad scientist get into these plays and get them to move as soon as he get into them. So Rams, what are you doing? Like, how are you getting these wonderful, masterful sniper entries and exits? Because we need that.
All right, we're gonna tie it all back to the Snipers HQ philosophy, which is we snipers, patience, right? So it is whatever it is you're watching. Like, okay, you guys, we did a play on silver, like a month or so back. There's a lot of plays. There's different strategies, but this one thing that I look at. It's always on a macro context. So look, you guys know I was looking at Netflix. I've been talking about Netflix for a while. So it's like, see, I can. You guys know I'm looking at VRT. I've been looking at VRT for a while. So I'm just studying. I'm watching them, and I'm plotting key levels on a macro context, not a short term bias. I want to see where there is a low risk versus high reward momentum, right? You guys, I gave this was even on YouTube, so it doesn't matter. This is these three, even the reason why I added to Netflix equity yesterday was the same context, right? And the importance of this is how can I say it? Is following the strategy the same exact way every time, not changing something. You only change what you need to tweak while you're building your strategy, right? So on the weekly here, right? On the weekly here, all I needed to see these levels here, 496, right? This is a macro demand. This is a big level here. So right here is another level, but we have nothing sustaining, only some leverage. This is another big level, but we lost this. So what is our next level of interest on a macro basis? Right here, right here, right here, where it used to be a deep ceiling, which is now a floor. We've been above this. So when we come and retest this macro demand structure, I am watching for every piece of confluence that I can get, right? So what happens? We played this whole candle. We took all of this. And we were lucky enough to get out at the top of the candle. We never even saw for this drawdown NOC. And now look, they're here. They are protecting this whole, look at this weekly candle here. They are here. NOC still has a chance to go. It's holding the 200-day, but it failed on my 9. And that's why when you're following a deep move, this is a big move. This has upside potential. This is big on a macro context. Now, once I have this mapped out, yeah.
Not to cut your knowledge, my bad. Could you make your hand bigger when you point to the candle?
When I point to the candle?
Yeah, like the crosshair, so I can follow where you at with the candles.
I bet I got you.
If you can't start.
No, I got you. Matter of fact, I should have had this, but I was gonna do this in a minute. So boom, right? So once I see we're holding, look, you see clearly they're here. They're here. Look at this. Look at this beautiful hold. They just came and swept this whole area right here. They just swept all of this. They just swept it. They did it the week of the play. We took all of this. We saw that 9 there. I already knew there was a possible rejection. So all I wanted was my trade intent. That's all I needed was a weekly context, a demand zone, a nice, I'm already seeing the volume right here is drying up. We already had the big move. The big move happened. Now we're basing. We're basing where? Right at this level. We lose it? Now I am where risk just turns so small, right? Because of where we are structurally in the chart. If we lose this, I can easily, okay. Now here, you could easily take a trade from this zone. This beautiful zone right here. Put a stop loss nice and tight. Because if we lose this, it's sayonara. Because this is a key level until we start seeing this next demand zone. Do you see?
What makes that a key level?
This right here. Look how many bounces we have on a macro context. But what was this? an all-time high.
Mhm.
This was your high. We had the blow off top, sold off, came, we took off from there on. We just took off. Boom. Now we tested it, tested it, tested it, tested it. This is a key level. So if I would have lost this key level, right? Why is that a key level? Boom, boom. Our new high, right? So now we have all of these bounces here. It finally turned into the floor we needed, took off. But now we have this big extended move. What happens? From here to here, thin structure. We lost that in a breeze. We lost that in a breeze. Once this candle came so hot, it just broke through that and kept going to this demand. Why is that a demand? Previous hard ceiling that finally broke, retested, held, and that's what gave you the massive upside move. So now you have to reverse that context on the way back. Okay, if we hold here, that is massive. It's massive. Now, if we do break and hold here, what does that mean? It's even bigger. Because once we hold and I see this nasty rejection, I know that the next up, we already mitigated. We already mitigated right at the zone. It's over with. I know now. So now I start looking who's overhead. My 100-day, 20, 50. My 100's right here. So now, and then I got my 9 right here. So now what happened? It just goes, rejected. But now it came and mitigated again. And it held. So now, that is all just weekly context. This is what I need so I can pinpoint my scope. All right, cool. Now, okay, I might have done that when we were here. When the drop happened.
Lakia, it's your mic. It's kind of hard hearing you.
Mine?
Yeah.
What you felt like here?
No, I'm going to ask about your green dotted line where the magnet is. What is that?
Oh, that's where I wanted it to come.
Is that
was my
a moving
496
average? What
area.
is that?
No, that was just my macro demand zone right here.
No, the dotted line. She's asking, is that an indicator?
Oh, this right here. This
Yes.
is my 4-hour. This is my 800. But I put the magnet there, just bringing it down to that 493 level. Look, the magnet is not really just for. It's not for the 100, but the 800 EMA. There's 400. Pardon me, 400, and then I use my deep discount zones, which is my 800 EMAs, 400 EMAs, 200, 100 SMA, 200 SMA, 50 SMA, 20 SMA, 9 EMA.
This is real good, Rams. If y'all like what y'all hearing, make sure y'all hit the like button on YouTube. If you like what you're hearing.
So now, what I will accept on a macro level, right? I don't like when we break any 100 on a macro level. But the fact that we hold sweep on a 200-day on a macro basis. This is not just on an hourly, on the 200. No, this is on a macro 200 weeks. Every week, every candle is a week. If this is a 200, simple is it's an average of the last 200 candles, but I am in the weekly. So this is 200 weeks of context, right? This is a big zone, whether it may have been, see, because this was rising, right? Rising up. So whether it may have been your 508, oh, I moved my line. Your 508 to 493, that is your macro context area, right? So then we took that trade. Where was it? That was like 2 weeks ago. It was this. It was this sweep. It was boom. Then we held, and then we took it all the way up to right around here is where we got out. Somewhere here. I got to go down. Look at this. This is beautiful. This has legs. You got to watch this. This is NOC. This is on defense. This is huge. This is a huge stop right here. Look at this. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. That is a beautiful institutional floor. They're holding this line. What does this look like now? Now you just start pairing. They came here hard. They wanted to pick up again. Again. This is an area that if you fail here, once you fail this area, now there's trouble. Now there's trouble because these whales are holding this floor. And on the macro level, where we saw it on the weekly, we know when we go left, we know what we're up against down there. So I have, oh, damn it. I thought I had my pen on. I have my weekly context in the daily right here. We sweep, take a run, come back, gap down and sweep. This thing is gone again. Is where? 540 something already. Beautiful, beautiful. But those are macro levels. When you get your entries, this is once you reach the zone. Once I'm watching now, like see this 4 hour right here, this held beautiful. Once I already have my map, I can come down. I get my levels. I gotta put all my levels up. Once I have my levels, come down to my hourly because my hourly shows me all of the context that I want to see. All of it, right? This was the trade right here. Bang. So look at this multi-confluence right here. Look at this. Because I didn't get in perfectly here, right? Absorption happened right here. This thing, now hold on. I don't want to make a mess. So you guys see. From here, price got absorbed. Sellers, should I say? Let me take my charger off. This right here, see this wick right here? This came, reclaimed the 9. At the same time, reclaimed the 20. At the same time, that was already that was where, okay, my entry's here, right? Now, where is my entry? Because I already have my line in the sand. I lose my level that I was watching, that's it. I'm good. So I can risk easily. I can risk those $7 to $8 because I know I have imbalances here. Oops. I have a big imbalance here. So my first take profit is this break of structure. Retest. You can add if you don't break your momentum. Look what happens the next day. This is all patience, 1 hour. I am not looking anywhere. Once I see what's happening on the 1 hour, I might go and look at it on a 15-minute basis to see where I can tip the best entry. But if I'm looking at a macro context, my entry lives right here in my hourly. As soon as I saw this, and I saw the pullback, that was my entry right there. Right after my pullback, look at the volume that comes in. Because it's all based on a macro context. Then it's all based on structure. We reclaim this internal structure. At the same time, we got the 9. We have the 50 crossover right here. We took this pullback. This gaps up. The next day, pulls back again. Boom. We get out of the whole trade. This thing started doing its own thing. But now look, you came back to mitigate. You sweep this, right? You sweep this. Oh, damn it. What did I do? We're not in the play anymore. But now you sweep this area even heavier. Oh, damn it.
Every Friday. Oh,
Every time, bro. So boom. You look at this. You sweep all of this. Look at here. Look at here. This candle gives you the power. Get your base. You get another run. Damn it. Whatever. You guys get the point. It's all based. It's all based. My strategies, I have to be backed by volume. I have to be backed by confluences, whether it may be my moving averages, whether it may be my structural levels, right? I have to be backed by my confluences. Once I see that, okay, we're losing steam, what was my trade intent? Do I want to just ride this out and see what happens all the way back? Okay, no, maybe I want one of those big leap plays once for one. Oh, I'm using the wrong tool, bro. Hold on, guys. Hold on. So for a leap play, right? Oh,
That's hilarious.
so boom. For one, now we reclaim, right? Let's say on the hourly. Let's go on the hourly context, right? But let's say really you want to do this on the daily, so let's go do it right. Why is this not? All right. So look where that 200-day is sitting. It's my pink. Those who don't know where my 200-day is sitting, is my pink. Right here, this, because it's bright. Look where it's sitting. So you have to be careful with a long leap. What do you might want to do? Okay, we hold, right? It's all about trade intent and what do you see in front of you? Okay, well, this is a lower low. Now, because I know it's backed by volume, that is a hard floor, right? But now anybody can see this context and say, okay, well, high, lower high, failure to go higher, lower high again, low, lower low. What should happen structurally next, right? But if you can hold this level, if you can hold this structure, come here, reclaim this 800-day on my daily, because you're trying to reclaim the 50 even right now, but you have to reclaim vital structure for long-term upside, actual long-term upside, which still, and this is sometimes kills me about some people, because they'll be like, oh, but you could have got in down here. All right, well, you ain't see this range? How? You don't know it's just gonna do this. But once it reclaimed the 200-day, this is another entry. Why you gotta be so greedy? We have from $608 all the way to, let's say, a nice safe profit right here. This is what, around 740-ish or thereabouts? We're talking about over 120 points. Why are you rushing to get the best long leap? Now, this takes a lot of skill and a lot of wherewithal. I don't know how to say the thing, but a lot of brain power, a lot of emotional power for you to get in something here and ride this up. You got to be nasty with it. Nasty with it. Unless this thing is just gapping up day after day like Tesla was doing years ago, nobody's that good to emotionally ride all of this up. There's no way. So now for deeper swings, you want to reclaim deeper structure. Why is this here? Damn it. You want to reclaim deeper levels of structure, because that is a safe trade. Anything beyond that, it's a higher low. It could go high, higher low. You need to reclaim key interest structural levels. Institutions play here. They play here. They understand what this means. They understand that a 20-day is your monthly average. I like to play with the big money. That is just what I like to follow. I like to, okay, a low, failure to go lower, lower high, key level, moving average, volume. Basic, there's brilliance in the basics. Once I have a context, once I have a map, I follow the map. Entry's always backed by a key level. I want to sweep. I want to hold. I need a lower high. And to see a lower high, you have to be patient enough to see the pop first. And then you want to see a higher low. Because what are you just going to get in? No, I need some sort of confirmation. I already have the context that I need. Now I need price to do what I need price to do so I can enter and feel at ease in the trade. If I know the context came from a weekly basis, I got a couple days. I know what type of market we're in right now. I have a couple days. Because what happened when Iran, they started talking about the peace talks? This is what happened to defensive stocks. We start talking about war again, which is sad, you know, this is the context we live in. But war means money. Oh, no war? Nah, we don't want that. So we got to understand the context when. What if we taco over the weekend? What happens to this? What happened then? Lower high. And then what comes into play? Well, we have a daily possible head and shoulders brewing. So for a deep swing, look where this 200 is, right? Where would that head of the next shoulder be? So you want to reclaim this structure, because if you lose it, that is that. But if you manage to reclaim it, now we can target the upper bands. It's all strategical. It's not, well, we're down here, we must go up here. We don't go up there without a battle, without punches being thrown, and without some being landed on you. You have to withstand. So there's no way you could just sit here. That takes a lot, unless you're gapping and going and gapping and going. There's only been a few Teslas, Nvidias that run up like that, $100 day. STX Micron, SNDK, whatever it is. But that doesn't just come in every stock. So you have to understand price, structure, confluence, follow the rules. The rules must be followed. If your TP1 is number whatever it is, when it touches, trim. Just trim. There shouldn't be anything tied to it. Well, I don't care. TP1. What? I work on Friday, and don't worry about it, big boss. Pay me next week if you. No. Pay me. What you mean? I just got to my profit zone every Friday or whenever it is I get paid. Pay me, dog. So I could bust out next week and try to get to profit number 2. So you need to get paid for the analysis that you built, not what you're changing on the fly because of what you think price is doing. All right, that's what I got for that, though. So entries, I love the hourly for entries because they give me good conviction in those pops, in that move. You can't get a big pop unless your trade intent is for the day trade, for the scalp. Off the 15-minute, off the 30-minute, you're not seeing anything. You have to go way back. You got beautiful structure for scalps, for quick in and outs. But for gap and go scenarios, you're not going to get those type of plays looking at 30-minute intervals, 15-minute intervals, even just mapping out an hourly interval. The hour is used for my entry. That is, the hourly is my child time frame compared to the weekly context I got the trade from. So in this case, yeah, go ahead.
Before you go in, there's a question for you that Ash asked. So Rams, how did you decide to go out to October on your strike for that silver call? Because didn't you know it would reach your target much sooner, and not only did the target hit, but the analysis told you it will be going back down to a support level. So how did you decide to go out into October on your strike? How did you pick that contract?
Because of what I told Sandra and my risk tolerance. And that was a good question on silver, so I'm going to point this out and why I gave myself that type of time, even though it was a short trade.
And while you answer this, you might as well kill what they say, kill a bird with 2 stones. You might as well answer Levine's question. She said market structure is my friend all day. Contract selection is stopping me from being great. So you might as well, any piece of advice that you have.
I got you. I got her right now.
So
I got her right now for sure. I got her right now with that. You know what? And speaking of that, I'll post a little blueprint of open interest versus volume after class later on today in the group.
That's good. Real good.
Yeah, I'm gonna post that in the education.
That's right.
So now, and Levine, just to briefly, but you'll get a lot when I post that on the Discord. But always look, like, let's say if you're looking at 2 weeks, a month out, always look for contracts that are liquid. Some like Northrop Grumman, you have to understand the instrument that you're trading as well, because open interest, let's say 400 open interest, right? That's 400 open contracts, let's say on NOC. But on something like SPY, from 2 weeks out, you might see 5K, 10K open interest. The liquidity is different. So NOC is considered an in the liquid options contract. When SPY is very liquid, there's more volume inside of SPY than there is in other instruments, right? So when open interest for NOC at 400 contracts open might be a high number, 400 for SPY is close to nothing. So always look at the instrument that you're looking at and look to see what contract has flow in it. That is the contract that you're going to be able to sell and buy on a dime. But if you have a contract that has, say, a number of 10 open interest, now it's 10 of y'all battling between this one contract when it's time to sell it. So you might not get the best sell possible, or you might have to wait on that limit order to get filled until the market maker starts seeing some actual push through. That could work both ways. You could get on in liquid contract. See, that's something I did with NOC. It wasn't a lot of action in the contract that I was, but I got in right before the rest of them. So then they made my contract liquid. So when it was time to sell, market makers gave me my limit price that I was asking for right away. So in stocks that are in liquid, you'll have a bigger spread. You have to wait for that price for the market makers to give it to you once the volume starts to drop in. For liquid markets like SPY, QQQ, Metas, Googles, those you'll mitigate right away. You're in and out of your contracts because somebody's going to buy it or sell it from right away. But always go for what has action. And then I do like anything over a 0.4 delta. Anything over, I can withstand something at 0.35, but always look, especially now that you want to get used to good habits. Build good habits first before you start tweaking certain things around. See, like, you might see me sometimes getting something, you'd be like, yo, Rams, but well, I understand what I'm doing because the habits have been tweaked over time. So for now, have good habits and try to get in. This lotto looks cheap. Sometimes those lottos are not the best option, even if they're cheaper, because you could lose those $20, $30 more often than you could just put, let me just pay for that premium. Let me pay the full $100. There's more liquidity in this contract. I'm paying for insurance. I have a little extra time. Now I can let my play out. And you're sitting more peacefully by having, by trying to have, in the beginning anyway, you want to have good manners with the market. Don't get crazy with the lottos and you have empty open interest. Those are going to be very hard to sell back to the market. There's no liquidity. So you have to wait for somebody to either give you what you're asking, or they're going to bid a price and it's going to sit there until it psychologically gets you to change your price and go lower. Because that contract is in the liquid. Can't say that word. I know T knows how to say it. Now,
Here, let me wrap.
now with silver, right? Look at this. This is just beautiful. Let's go. And this, and you could see the same pattern, right? Look at this. This is how you know it starts, right? It was on the daily. Right here. Beautiful. So look at this. Look at this drop, right? You see when the drop starts from the metal. Bang. Super high volume. It just that's it. High, lower high, lower high. It's just on the downtrend. What happens again? Same setup. Same setup. Can't stress it enough. This was on the weekly. We go down to the daily. We hold, but not only do we hold, I can see the divergence in volume, right? Sellers are losing steam here. But I can also see, right? Hold on. Let me erase this. Look at this. Go back where the RSI is. Now look at this. You have, I know it's hard to see with my charts and blah, 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 but look. You have this whole downtrend right here, right? It's a whole downtrend. Yeah, I'm on my tablet. It's a whole downtrend from here, right? But look what you have here. You have a whole uptrend here on your RSI. So that is a bullish RSI divergence. On a macro context, price is going down, but the RSI is, and for one thing, it's coming from oversold. What happens every time it's there? Takes off. What's going to happen?
Bounce.
Took off. But now, and look, I'm not a big RSI at all. But when I do see this, when I see this and this, that calls my attention. Not only that, but we have, this is big. This is big. So I already knew, okay, this is beautiful. We already had the sweep. We had the lower high, which is here. Let me go in there. On the hourly, this all looks better, right? Now look at this context. That this daily candle was being formed, right? Why I didn't want to be part of the drawdown.
That candle. Yup.
That was nasty. Now look, it happens again. It gapped all the way down. Boom, happened again. Now, I'm still bullish on this because remember, this is macro context. This came from a parent time frame, right? So this is still bullish. This is holding. I said if we hold above 52, it still looks good. I personally don't want to be part of the drawdown. Why have my snipers lose money? Why go back to flat? We want the trade again bad enough. If it holds, we take it back. But for now, we take what we came for. We take the runner out when we took it, because it was like yesterday when we took the runner out, and we wait. Now it's holding. Even if it comes, holds this structure, it could sweep again like NOC and take it. But this is still, I'm still bullish. As
Hey,
long as we don't
Rams.
lose. Yeah.
Question for you. Do you consider anything macro, the weekly and above?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Lakia had a question about your delta. She
Mhm.
said, what makes you comfortable with 0.4 delta? Many say at least 0.5.
Yeah, but I mean, 0.4, I'm just following my analysis. And look, to be honest, there's been time I've made a lot of money when 0.25 deltas. It depends. Your entry means all. Structure and entry, and when the stock runs in the time that it runs, you're golden. You can make a 25 delta go to 60. If you catch, if you're hunting only, because when you wait for these levels on certain things, you're gonna wait. You're gonna wait. It's tempting to see. Remember, we got in and we did a play, and then it started going against us. We left in green, and then it did all this because we were in a put 250. But then it
Can I
went
ask
to
another
64.
question?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I'm gonna tap into the mind of all of our fellow snipers. When
Mhm.
you put these plays out and you do your analysis, are you, because this is not the first time you've posted a play and it
Mhm.
gapped up like that. Is there something in the analysis that gives you indication that it's going to just run? Because there's one thing having a solid analysis and it goes in your direction. But the plays that you've posted are different. Like they like go diabolical. Is there
Um,
something that you're seeing that you have a hunch that's going to happen, or has it been purely purely coincidence all 100 times?
I'm just like I'm something like ad. See, I'm just highly favored. That's all it is. Nah, no. Look, honestly, no, there isn't, and I don't want everyone and the snipers to think I'm like this guru thing or no. It's just I do the analysis. I wait for the best moment possible because I lose too. It just so happens that hey, listen, I've been on a roll, but I lose too. I do bleed. I'm human too. So it happens. Now what I try is especially on a on a even if it's a short swing, I want the best outcome, the best probability at the end of the day. So I'm not just into oh let me because look I mean and especially with silver, silver is not something and to blend all this to with Ash's questions. Look at the way silver moves. Who can spot what I'm trying to say? Look at that price action. This is the daily. Look at the price action. Silver is not for everybody. Silver is so tough to trade. And I mean so tough because all this thing does is gap. Gap after gap after gap, up and down.
So
But
I'm going to assume, Rams, this came with a lot of experience and practice. So
yes,
can
yes.
you share kind of what your experience was? How many trades maybe you took before you really felt like I got this thing nailed down?
You know the main thing, it's not, Lakia, like it's not about having it locked down, but it's about when I noticed was the patience that it takes for a weekly context to develop. I mean, once you see the stock on a weekly basis do this, and I understand now this is context you cannot bypass, right? Okay, you have your high, failure to go higher, lower high, broke your lower low, made a new low. But but what did we hold? This and this floor. Because okay, hold on. This was a ceiling, broke floor. Now, this, if it doesn't hold, we have points of structure, right? Where things could get dark real quick for silver. See high 30s, see mid 40s. It can happen. It can happen. But now, this macro demand will get buyers to defend this because that demand made this entire run. Entire run. And now to go back, when you see a run like this, what happens when price decides that it's time for distribution? You mitigate all of it. In one candle alone, it took all this part of it, then all of this took care of this. But now we are sitting at a make or break moment. Okay, well, my stop loss could easily be right there. What am I risking? Right? Okay, if we get in that 50-51 area, low, higher low, hold, because you need those confluences. You need that. You just because I hold. So this is something I used to. Just because I hold doesn't mean grab it and go. I need the hold, pop, come down. Okay, hold. Say this is my line. Come down. It holds, pops, makes a higher low. Now, this could be my entry, or the next higher low, that's my entry. Because remember, one time we get the pop, boom, builds a trend. But the third time, okay, I gotta take advantage of this. If not, the window goes. Because what happens when most people try to follow a trend line, right? It'll do this. It begins the trend line. 1, 2 taps, boom. Entry goes, whoever's late says, oh, we're coming back to the trend line. Oh, poof, poof, poof. Change your character, and now they say, oh, no, well, trend lines suck. Well, that's because institutionals know it goes 1, 2, 3, take them out of here. On a basis of how trend lines. Now, if the move has continuation, you get the 4th tap and go. Or you might not get a 4th tap and you do 1, 2, 3. This is your most reliable entry because you're following a trend. You can get in here and hope, right? And say, all right, you know what? We're holding structure, bang, let's get that. This now can serve as an ad, right? But then now you can go do this and it fakes. You think you're coming here and it just keeps going. How many times haven't you seen that in a trend? And then you'll have on a macro contest, yo, guys, we're getting the key level of, and then all of a sudden it loses. Now it starts chopping. So in that, with that being said, every time you see what you need to see, because once I have my level mapped out, because the entry was right here. So you see, we hold this beautiful. Go, fail to go lower. Boom, go. That's beautiful. That was both my entries, because remember, I entered, I added. We ate, we got out, runner got out. And now look, it's holding beautiful. It's holding, right? Because you could say this was the high. Now, when you start coming, okay, high, failure to go higher, boom. This could be inducement, boom. And now, boom. Because now you have to break this structure. Right here. You have to break this structure. Eventually, pop. Now you have continuation. But silver is a monster. It's a monster to trade. So you have to be very careful with silver. Very careful. Rather say trade gold. But silver has good opportunities. And I knew this was a beautiful opportunity. We knew it last time because we hit. Look, it hit the put. We had $50. We had a $50 put. We knew it was coming down there. Mitigate that macro demand. But eventually it did. And what we do, we left in green because this thing popped to almost 60 when we had that put. It was right here. I wanted this failure. Oh, damn it. So we wanted this. Remember, we wanted this failure right here somewhere. Right here. Where's my pen? Bang. Bang. And go. That's what we were looking for. Once we reclaimed, we were gone. Gapped up. We would have been cooked. Cooked. And we left that play, that put in green, but then look what it did. It just fakes you out. Silver is just known for this. And now you're just in this range. So once you break this, now that's no problem for TP2. And anything below here, it's only a higher low. to even try to mitigate those mid 40s. If they want to do it, I'm pretty bullish on the metals right now, to be honest. This macro demand, I don't think they're gonna hold this floor. That's what I believe. It can come and they can try to snatch a little bit down here, but I don't know. Just because whoever this is, they might want some more, and they're already ranging. Why not? Come get it again. Come down there and get more, and go. Gold was doing the same thing. Gold was doing the same thing. Gold is the leader. If you ever want to trade silver, look at gold. What is gold doing? Silver follows. They only detach on a very, very, very rare occasion because they use silver for these certain materials and certain things. And the only time silver detaches from gold, it's like one of those Goldilocks moments that I really don't know how to explain too well, so I won't. But they don't separate. They do not separate. Gold leads what silver does.
Yeah, all the metals, Charlotte. She said copper was gap up and down too. And I'm not sure if you answered, but she had asked a question. Does it depend on how much liquidity is there? Like 0.40 has 33K and 0.50 has 2K, but I don't know if you're gonna be able to backtrack to exactly what she was talking about. That was with the volume and
yeah, she's talking about the open interest. I mean, that 33K is now, see, that's a trick that you want to use. Say those two numbers again. What strike was 2K and what the higher strike was 33?
0.40 has 33K and 0.50 has 2K.
Yeah, well, 0.50 is closer to the money already. Right? So whoever's at that 0.50 is backed by all that demand at the 0.40. There's so much demand at 0.40. So the guys sitting at that 0.50 strike zone, they're not worried. They're not worried. I can keep running this upside because I know there's so many players in that, what was it, 30K?
33K.
That's so liquid right there. So if I'm sitting in the $2,000 zone, and if I'm in the 0.50 delta and I'm sitting in that contract, I'm cool because I know price is coming. It's like a magnet. It's like a straight magnet. So now that's where you can get a contract that's less illiquid than a higher contract, but you're in the same instrument. So yeah, that's totally fine. You could go for the 0.5 delta right there, but that 0.40, if those people can manage to magnet that thing all the way up, and that's where now you start getting into those put walls and call walls because you want to see, all right, is that price, once a lot of those players leave that strike zone, do they cash there or do they hold for continuation? Because the prudent thing to do is you have a strike, say, of $100. Price is at 92. You hit the strike zone of $100, please believe me, you're going to trim. It is prudent to do so. Do you want to leave some earnings for continuation? Sure, to get those astronomical numbers. But you hit your strike, like hitting the key level. Now, I'm not saying if you bought something in the money, that's something different. But if you're slightly out the money and you hit your strike, I know you're over 10 points up, 15 points up, $20 up. That is a massive upside in the option contract, even on a 0.40 delta. But you always want to be backed. If you're going to choose a contract that, like, because 0.40 deltas are great. 0.35s are great. You're getting 35 cents for every dollar. And if your analysis is good, that 0.35 is going to go up. You'll be at 0.48, 0.50 in no time.
Rams, I was just asking that question because you said you did a 0.40. And so I was just trying to see, because you did the 0.40, like, I know you probably didn't know what the 0.50 maybe the liquidity was, but did it have more or less?
I don't know. I will have to go back and check. Once I chose the contract, I already knew that was the contract. I could go check. Let me see. What was the contract? Are we talking about silver, the silver contract?
Yeah. Because for you to pick 0.440, I'm trying to say, like what Levine asked, like, why wouldn't you pick the
0.5, because that's what we were taught, and I know we've
By
done.
who? Taught by who? Because I don't follow those strategies.
Right.
So my strategy is now, okay, if you only want to buy 0.5 deltas and up, that's okay. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I don't only, how can I say, like, restrict myself because of that.
Well, I'm not looking what you're looking at because I haven't gotten to that point yet. I don't understand it to that degree, and I'm trying to get there.
The way you can see a delta is like this, right? So, okay, the delta, all it means is how much are you going to make for every dollar that the stock goes up. So let's say even if you get a 0.25 delta, right? Just make sure your analysis is good and the contract is not trash. But as long as the contract is not trash and there's players open interest in that contract, even if the contract is 0.25, that means you're getting 25 cents for every dollar. But if you're getting a stock that goes up $10, $15, $20, right? You made money. And it doesn't stay at 0.25. That contract starts gaining steam. You have certain things that can pull it, gamma, certain things, volume and interest and a news break. A lot of things can pour into a contract where your analysis was dead spot on. You got in a, let's say, even a 0.30 delta. But now, 2 days later, that 0.30 delta is no longer 0.30. You're already at 0.55 by now, 0.45 by now. So it's just growing because it's all in the analysis and the entry and not getting sloppy. Because the contract that's the last piece. I need to know where my analysis is and if the stock is considerable to trade, to take a trade. Once I can see all these nuances, okay, I got my confluences, I see the volume, I see the floor, I see the levels, I see the hold, I see my pop, I see the higher low. Okay, let me go look at some contracts. Okay, I see action here, I see in here, I'm going to the top side. Let me go. And what I like to do is I like to try to debunk my analysis. So now I'll look on the put side. Who's against me? Let me look at the ops, right? And let me see what kind of strength, what kind of volume are they pouring in to those put contracts. But if I have a lot of volume on a 0.40 contract, I'm in there. I'm not going to let the delta, as long as the delta is not a 0.1, a trash contract, a lotto ticket. That's what you don't want to do. Lotto tickets. That only going to cost you, it's a year away, but it's so far out the money that's only going to cost you $5 per contract or something like that. And the delta is nowhere near a 0.02, whatever. That's a trap. But a 0.40,
I was going to add the same thing,
that's
Rams.
40 cents per dollar.
Don't overthink it. Like, don't overthink exactly what that parameter should be, because like Ram said, they shift as the contract changes value. What's most important, it doesn't matter what your delta is. If the analysis is trashed, it doesn't matter. So like what's most important is, are you directionally correct? Is your analysis good? And do you have a contract you'll be able to sell when it's time to sell it?
Yeah. And also look at your theta.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have enough time on your contract to get to where you need to get, right? So it's like those are the most important. Other than that, I wouldn't overthink the specifics of what the delta needs to be, as long as it's within a reasonable range. Like Ram said, don't get a crappy contract that you can't sell when it's time to sell. And those are going to be far out the money. Those are going to be very low delta. So it's like already going to default to not a good contract by it in and of itself, But I wouldn't overthink stuff like that. I would put more of that thought power into your analysis.
No, for sure. For sure. And even you ever notice when you see anything 0.70 delta point, that's high premium. The move happened for those contracts. They're sitting deep in the money. So after 0.5 deltas, you start getting real expensive contracts. That's real premium right there. So you want an analysis where, okay, well, I mean, I know if this thing pops, if this thing moves $5 a day, average, give or take, definitely Oh, okay, Palantir. I could definitely get Palantir at 125, strike 135. I'm not paying that much because it's $10 away. I'm still taking a risk. So you start mitigating that way versus, well, if the delta is only a 0.35, I'm not going to get it, but that could have been a banger. .40 deltas are bangers. It all depends. It all really depends on I don't know on what you were taught. If that was a strategy, then you have to follow that. You know, if because that requires that strategy to follow 0.5 deltas. In my strategy, I am more technical. I'm looking at the chart, my analysis. What are my confluences? Where are my levels? Okay, now I don't have a big rule behind the deltas as long as I understand how my delta and the theta move. Because in chop, what I don't want is to sit in a contract while silver, let's say whoever got in here, you're in here, you're getting cooked. You're getting cooked because that theta and through all of this is just not doing you justice.
Is that
so
what
like
level
said,
trading? Is that what that goes with? Is level to level?
That level to level is always how you should be as prudent as you can. And level to level can mean if you have daily levels, follow your daily levels, and maybe sharpen them up on the hourly. Your weekly levels, you can sharpen them down in the daily, but follow those levels. But don't trade chop. It's what you don't want to do. If the level, okay, it all has to. Who am I talking? Who was that? Charla?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so it all has to do with the range. So if the level to level, if this range to this range is about 1 to not even a 2% range, right? Is this worth your headache? No. But if you're trading a range that's about 3.5, 5%, okay, I can trade this. I can trade the pop over, the breakdown under, or I can trade range to range. I can put my pivot line like we get in ROTC. Below, we might reject. Above, we go up. I can leave runners for just in case we break the zone and then the next level of interest. But you only want to trade the range if it makes sense, if it's wide enough. Because if it's not wide enough, all you're going to do is chop, 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 chop. It's not worth the headache, the time, sitting there watching it, just chopping and chopping. The only way a thin little range like this is worth is let it coil, breakout, breakdown. When you have a little range to work with, leave it, and then you trade out of that range. Where does price want to go? You get a nice retest, make sure it goes. But now if you have a wider range, okay, now I can trade from here to here, from here to here. I could also trade the breakout, and I could also trade the breakdown. But only if the range makes sense, because you have the wiggle room. What you don't want to do is trade in a choppy range that's from $50 right only to 52. It's only a $2 range. I mean, it's gonna give you a headache. Also understanding the instrument and how it moves, because some moves for a certain instrument, $1 is a big move a day. Some under $1 might be a big move a day, and you'll see all these candles for under $1 move. But the range, always be very particular. If the range doesn't make sense to trade that range, wait for the pop out of the range. To either side.
I'm only trading SPY. It seems like SPY has worked for me. When I'm trying to trade
SPY?
Yeah, so I can just really understand exactly what I'm doing. Like today, I just went through, I cut every trade that I've been holding on to, and I know it's not going to come back because hope is not a strategy. So I just cut everything. And I only, like in my options trading, that's only 5% of my portfolio anyway. So I was like, okay, you don't want to lose. If I would have thought about it earlier, okay, you should have lost when it was a little bit. But in hindsight, understanding it now, cutting everything just made me understand. Get rid of that stuff. What are you holding on to? You know it's a losing trade. It's not gonna come back. And it was like until January, but I just wanted to just start over and just really understand this stuff. And you guys speak my language. You know what I'm saying? I've tried so many different discourses and different things and trying to figure it out myself. And when I say that you, Talisha, and Ab, y'all really, really hit home with me. And then going over to, doing the fruit, doing other stuff, I know this is where I'm supposed to be, and I just want to get it right, everything. I signed up for everything. Things you got, the Discord, everything. Because I really, really, truly want to understand it the way you guys are explaining it. I want to get to that point, and I know I'm not there, but I know I'm on the road to that point,
Facts.
Yeah.
So now look.
Trying to get that out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I want to get it right.
Hell yeah, you are. But now look, T, like even on like those gap ups like that, right? That's all. Look, remember, we took the first entry, right? And right here, once we made that higher low and it was confirmed, right? 50 held. All right, I want to see 50, hold, boom, make a higher low. Once that is confirmed, the entry opens up. Our entry opened up. But when we got this soft pullback here, right? Once we got that soft pullback there, that was my add to the play, right? Why? Because now look what's happening. So we got the low, higher low. Oh man, wrong. That was my arrow. So we got the low, failure to go lower, another higher low. That was my add-on. This was my entry. But now look at what we held for me to add, right? We just held another. We broke that and held. So now it's not I don't know. But now what I did know was this: when we closed that day, I took my ad, and when we closed that day, you see this volume bar, how it rejected, and it almost hit the average. Like I'm already back here, right? See here, this pertains to this. So you run, so you see the steam wearing out, but it don't matter because the steam, this is sustaining the whole move. It's so big. Whoever entered here, we don't know who, but we know they are supporting that floor. So this comes, now you get that little soft pullback. This comes, you get another little soft pullback, boom. It's just sayonara, nice to know you after that.
And the reason you knew that was going to confirm the floor and not switch directions was because we made that higher low next.
Yeah. The failure to go lower, the failure of continuation.
Yeah.
Because now it's say if and now I have two support zones. If I lose this structure, I should have made it better, but you get exactly what I'm saying. And then if I lose my macro demand, so now I have two back. This I break this. This starts doing this. Okay, bang, and this happens. Okay, now I gotta. Something's gonna happen. So I have to. Okay, now we could just go or reject. But this was
which
soft.
candle did you see the RSI divergence on?
That happened in.
Was that what? Did that match with the volume spike?
I'll tell you right now. Well, after we spotted it, this thing just went right after the divergence. So you see, you could do it from here, right from this point. Right from this point to.
That's good.
Let me flip this a little bit.
What point put it on your radar altogether, or is silver something you just watch all the time?
I just watch it, yeah. There's certain things that I watch. You see, like I always keep it on screen.
Mm-hmm.
So there's stuff like I'm always watching, and then on my other screens behind me, I have a whole.
I was just curious.
There's certain things that I don't watch everything, but the things that I do watch, like I am constantly watching them because they're on my charts. I don't have to go searching because
Yeah.
it's like if I do add something new, it's something new, but I'm still watching everything I'm watching, so
Yeah.
I could dedicate the time to that new instrument. But I'm
That's
always watching
good.
the same stuff. And see, like here I had silver on just on different time frames, and then obviously I was watching. I changed this to SPY earlier. Oh damn, I moved the level. But the same thing happened. Look, I even do it. Look, same exact strategy, same thing. Look, this will give clarity and why I just added to
Mm.
Netflix yesterday because this is a position that I'm building. You see, look how beautiful this is. And this on Netflix is consistent on the weekly because I spotted on the weekly first. Then I went down to the daily. I'm like, But now you see this is different because this, even if Netflix comes a little, doesn't matter because
Yeah.
this context is here now, and they
Yeah.
cannot take that from us. Look at this. This is so perfect.
What is this? This is your RSI? Or is
That's
this
the
just the?
RSI, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my RSI. And then
So that's the bullish divergence again.
again on Netflix, on a
On the
weekly,
weekly.
on the weekly.
Dang. Yeah.
So okay, now look, this is where I start. Where okay, we're holding this big macro demand, right? Now, I'm not just gonna go and buy a put because that is irresponsible, right?
That's good.
Where are we? Right here. Bang. Look at this. Bang, bang, floor, hold, and then that's when it ripped, right? But now we're here. We're here. This is the same setup. I can't make this up. Got the same setup. Volume poured in. That's fine because this is still the floor right here. They go,
Mm-hmm.
bring it back. They're coming in. Look from here. They're coming in. These cells, you have to look at the bars, right? Because what I like to teach is don't worry too much about the color, right? You have to look at the context between that volume and that bar. You'll see that sweep. You see the buyer step in, and now you see the nice hold. So now there's still a step missing here to even think about a call. Shares, I'm at a key macro structural level. You best believe I'm gonna add my shares to my position here. Now, that doesn't concern me because I can add here and build a stronger position. Now, that doesn't concern me. What concerns me to make a play, pop, high or low, go. Now you have internal ceilings to dictate where you want to start to scale out. But I need to see the pop failure to go lower, pop, make my higher low, go. And that lands right here at that 70 level, which you see what Netflix
like
did today.
On that weekly, that RSI divergence kind of confirms the low is put in. And then
that's such a strong.
You drop down and start to see if it actually forms a higher low.
Yep, exactly. And now look, you see the same divergence on the daily. Look at it right there because it's already mapped out from the weekly. It's right there. Yeah. And then you go down to the 4 hour. It doesn't get any better. I mean, look at this.
And it's still there. So once you see that macro level, like first, I don't know, green light, right? It's like, okay, we are hitting macro structure. I'm seeing bullish divergence in this case. Now I'm interested. And then I drop down to the daily, and now or maybe the 4 hour, and now I'm waiting for structure confirmation by seeing a higher low. Exactly. And once I have that higher low mapped out, then I'm dropping down one more time frame and waiting for price to retest that structure to give me an entry.
Exactly. So you see, you got it. Got the low, failure to go lower, pop, higher low, new structure.
Man, you're gonna have me over here reworking my whole strategy. Hold up. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, everyone. Kidding, everyone. I'm not going to rework my whole strategy. This is really good, though. This is good. I've never used RSI. This is really interesting.
And that divergence, because you don't always see it from the weekly, daily, you don't always see it. So it's coming all the way down to the 4 hour. That's huge. Now,
see, that's
look,
fascinating because even on the because I use divergence in just price action on the when I look at the futures, and it has that same power. I've never used it for RSI, so that's interesting.
Yeah, very powerful. And on a macro level, very powerful. You see this on a 15-minute.
Wow.
Okay, make sure you're in and out of that trade as fast as possible if you're using that as a confluence. But this is most powerful on parent time frames. This is how you're gonna get those, how you say, the gap and go, and not the scenario. This is the higher probability chance of you getting those gap and goes. Why? Because after we hold, right? After you hold here, you hold and go and make that higher low. What is the chances? You open somewhere here the next day. Because what are they going to let you come in the morning? All right, guys, come on. Let's go now. No, they're going to have it here, have price action stuck here, possibly come fill the gap, go. But it doesn't matter because you've been in.
Can you go back to the weekly chart again and go over to when Netflix popped up again? Like previously, it had the same setup. The beginning of your box. Over what was it, March, February? Yeah, when was that? That week, right where your box starts?
Right here?
Yeah. What week was that? 10/14.
October.
And it ran
2024, 2 years ago.
And then the run up was the week after. That was the same manipulation week. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's the third or fourth week of the month. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. See, and let's say okay, look, same thing. Look, watch. Okay, let me see, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's good.
So look,
that's really
even
good.
from here, you can catch it right here. From this point or this low, from here to here, you see the whole run, you already knew it was going to tumble.
Yeah.
Because the RSI was already at the different edge, right? At the opposite edge, at the top. Now you have RSI divergence going on the opposite end.
The bearish divergence.
Right? So if RSI is going down while price is going up at the top, okay, now this might break down here.
That's really fascinating.
Yep. You even had it in the chop. See, right from the beginning of the chop, you had RSI all the way through the chop going down. The RSI on the weekly context was telling you price is weak, is going down inside the chop.
I really hope everyone that's tuned in understands the value of the strategy that Rams just gave us. Like, I've seen people charge thousands for a strategy like that. And people we don't even have access to ask questions for follow-up. So that's really dope that you shared all that just because.
I've been waiting to say that.
That's amazing.
I agree. Yeah, Rams, this is
like some next level strategy
in the
stuff.
Discord, this is one of the reasons why you should definitely be in the Discord. You get I'm long-winded, Rams is long-winded. And Talisha isn't as long-winded, but she'll still tell you to the point where she breaks down stuff for me because I don't know a lot of the concepts, but it takes like instantly, like a couple seconds, I understand what she's saying once she breaks it down for me real quick. But
her teacher style is way different. So good.
Yeah, we're gonna change the game on that ICT stuff too. Well, but
yeah, we'll work together because most of the concepts you both already know. It's just the terminology. That's okay. Go tell Sissy. It's just the terminology.
That's a fact.
That was so dope, Rams. Wow.
Yeah. Thank you.
Rams, that was really, really good. Really good.
Thank
and
you,
we gotta It was a lot. It was a lot. You gave us the entry, exit, and then you went super deep into specifically the contracts, and then you went deep into the Greeks in the contract. So that was overall just amazing. So again, if you needed any reason on why you should join us, this is it's one of the thousand reasons why you should join us. We know what we're talking about. We don't just say it if we're not actively doing or using these methods. So this is a RAM strategy that he actually uses to print these winners that he gives us anytime he gives out a call, because he doesn't give a lot of calls, but when he gives them, they're bangers. Though he's really picky with his trades. So
That's a fact.
day trading, like Charlotte is very invested into SPY, so that means Charlotte needs to pay attention to Talisha a lot, see what she could take from her to add into her strategy. And
I'm coming. Tell him to hold on one
if
second.
y'all don't have any questions, Talisha and Rams, if y'all want to keep going, if y'all have anything to say, or if anybody on Zoom or even the YouTube, I'm paying attention. If y'all have any questions, now is the time. It's already 4:54. I don't want to take too much of your time. I want to get up. And yeah, we go on premium again. That's August 7th. So these Friday Zooms, if you're enjoying it, you want to stay premium or you want to go premium, because starting August 7th, we won't meet. If you like me, Talisha, and Rams, our lives together, that will only be for our Discord family. Other than that, you'll just see us Monday and Wednesday. Anything else? Any questions y'all have for what Ram said? Now is the time, so it don't slip your mind. Ask it now while it's in the front of your mind. Any questions of what he just went over? I know it was a lot, but this will be recorded so you could go back and review it. Or Rams, Talisha, if y'all have anything y'all want to add.
I
No,
can't
I'm
add none to
good.
that. That was
Yeah.
fire.
Pat said the Discord is fire. Many gems to learn.
Right.
Well, if that is all, then y'all see our face again on Monday, or hear our voices at least again on Monday. And when we go premium, I'm thinking about, I'm not going to commit myself to it, but it'll be for the most part a lot of days where I'll go in and we'll just, like at 9:25, we'll go live for a little bit and see what the market is doing for about 30 minutes, just like show you setups real quick, and then that's it. I'm probably going to try to, it's going to be like just a refresher like every day. Not every day, but I'm not going to commit myself, but I know I'll do it a lot though. But other than that, now we transfer over into just learning, just improving your skills other than the market, but of course staying on top of your skills with the market. Again, not learning too many strategies, not jumping from Discord to Discord. Find your home, stay in your home for a little bit until you outgrow it. Like if you feel like you outgrow us, which I don't think you should, because we're gonna keep elevating. But if there comes a point, my biggest thing that helped me was I was in the Chris Sang group. I was in Trap's Patreon thing. I was in Aristotle Discord thing. One thing that helped me is knowing when I outgrew the group. So whenever you feel as though, and it's no disrespect to them, but if I feel as though I can't learn anything from a group, so if you feel as though you're not learning anything from us, or it's not benefiting you, there's no reason to stay. Stop staying because you feel like you're obligated or have to. If you feel like you're outgrown and you're not getting what you need, don't stay. Don't waste your money. Just go. We won't take it no type of way. We understand. I wouldn't want you to be nowhere where you're not feeling like you're growing. The goal is not to stay stagnant. I said, so yeah, we don't want to be stagnant. Yeah, I'm a fool. I be playing with myself, all that. But so yeah. Other than that, now we go straight into what do we got? Well, we got a surprise coming up for the people that stay with us, that lock in with us when we go premium. We got a surprise coming up, and Yeah, so right now we just improving ourselves. Make sure you learning about the market. Keep charting, watching your videos, back testing, see where you went wrong. Make sure you're journaling. Most importantly, learn about your mind. Um, that'll help with the market as well, but overall, just life. Um, keep your faith, no matter what you're going through. Keep your faith. Keep God first, and that's also going to be a big thing with the market. That's a big thing with the market for me. Is God first for me. I praise Him for everyone that I have and my ability to be able to read the charts at the level that I can. It's all praises due to Allah, not me. Anything that I teach, none of the praises for me is only for God and God only. Um, so I think that's what makes me a successful trader as well. My faith with God. It's just we need to tie that. It goes hand in hand with the market. I don't know why they made that a taboo thing, but people tell you not to pray. I'm going to play. I'm going to pray for this trade. I don't care what you're talking about, because He knows I pray for everything. When I'm down bad, I pray. When I get something really good, I pray. It don't matter. So He understands, and only He can judge me. So that and yeah, just keep learning wisdom. Learn about everything you think that's going to benefit you, but just don't put your all into the market. You know, it's bigger than the market. You want to make sure you teach your kids and family. Financial literacy is one big thing, but there's so many other things that we need to teach and break these chains. Like we're programmed. We need to reprogram our children and stuff like how to talk properly, like let them know that words is spells and stuff like that, and just be happy, y'all. You stay on that chart all the time and stuff. If that's not your purpose, it's gonna kill you. I could be on the charts 24/7 and stuff like that because my purpose it ties with it. I'm here to serve and stuff like that. And one of the ways that I serve is by helping you guys be able to see the market clear, or maybe put money in your pockets by giving you play that you might have followed me, not financial advice, but but if that's not your purpose, though, it's going to kill you slowly. So make sure you still never take your eyes off your dream, the vision that you have. Even if this is the tool to get there, use it as the tool to get there. Don't put your all into this, and then 20 years down the line, you find out that you wasted your time. You didn't. I mean, my end goal is not the market. It's a tool. I know where my vision is. Stay clear on your vision. Please stay focused. And sports betting, we got boxing, we got UFC, we got baseball bets right now. We already got the Rockies playing. I'm not gonna tell you what that play is, but we're looking really good on that right now. We got some plays in there. Boxing, yeah, UFC. I think that's all I got for y'all. So I'll leave y'all off with the highest human act that you could possibly achieve is to inspire. So make sure you're smiling and changing people's lives. Make sure you're complimenting others. Just stay true to yourself. One word that I tell my kids every day that we get up is if you have kids, one word that you should teach your kids. I've been teaching my kids since they was 3 this word because I watched Stephen Curry and Nipsey Hussle interview, and it changed their lives. Integrity, right? And then you ask your kids, what does integrity mean? Then you teach them. Integrity means to be honest with yourself when no one's looking. That is so major. It'll follow them for the rest of their lives. It's been for the most part it's been 3 years, 4 years, and then 8 years that they've been hearing this. So every day they rise up. You know, what's the highest thing? What's one of the best traits that you can have? It's integrity, right? So that, and then stay positive. And then I'll leave you off with, would you rather be at war with yourself and at peace with the world, or at peace with the world and at war with yourself? And don't take the easy route. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. So you should always choose war with yourself and at peace with the world, because you want to be in alignment with the universe. That's all I got. I'm stupid hungry. If nobody else got nothing, Rams, Talisha, peace to the gods, peace to the goddesses, peace, love, light, and healing upon everybody on here watching. Peace be upon you. And in Arabic, we say assalamu alaikum.
Have a good weekend, everyone. Talk to you all in the
Oh,
Discord.
Pat, it's amazing. You as well, Talisha.
Peace and blessings, family.
Thank you for your time, everybody.
Thank you for your knowledge, bro.
You're welcome, Levine. Always a pleasure.
Thank you guys so much for everything.
You're welcome.